Want to speak real Arabic from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at ArabicPod101.com. Hi everyone! Do you know how to say I love you in Arabic? In this lesson, you'll learn 3 different ways to say it. Let's start with how to express your feelings to your loved one.
أنا أحبك. أنا أحبك. أنا أحبك.
Or if you want to explain those butterflies in your stomach, you can say
أنا معجب بك. أنا معجب بك. أنا معجب بك.
And when you feel that I love you is not enough, you can say
لا يمكن للكلمات أن تصف حبي لك. لا يمكن للكلمات أن تصف حبي لك. لا يمكن للكلمات أن تصف حبي لك.
Hi everybody, this is Nora from ArabicPod101.com and welcome to our new series, Ask an Arabic Teacher. In this series, I'm going to be answering some of your most common Arabic questions. The question for this lesson is, which dialect of Arabic should I learn or focus on? The variant of Arabic you should learn depends on your goals and what you want to achieve using your knowledge of Arabic. If you want to learn Arabic to become a professional translator, work in politics, read newspapers, or write reports for work, then you should definitely focus on Modern Standard Arabic. On the other hand, if you want to be able to communicate with Arabic-speaking people, you have to learn a popular dialect that's widely understood, like Egyptian Arabic or Levantine Arabic. As Nelson Mandela once said, if you talk to a man in a language he understands, that goes to his head. If you talk to him in his language, that goes to his heart. And let's get the facts straight. Nobody speaks Modern Standard Arabic in their daily conversations, not one person in the whole entire world. To understand the difference in usage between Modern Standard Arabic and dialects, you need to know what Modern Standard Arabic and dialects mean to Arabic-speaking people. Babies learn the dialect of their country or region first to communicate with their parents. Then, when they go to school, they start learning how to read and write Modern Standard Arabic, because this is what they will use to read textbooks, take exams, read books and newspapers. They will learn it from kindergarten up to the end of high school. But depending on their major, they might take more Modern Standard Arabic courses throughout their college years. For example, if their major is translation or journalism, they will continue taking classes because that's what the news, the formal and legal papers is written in. Other than that, social media, speaking with professors, co-workers, teachers, friends, and family is all in dialect. That's why the average Arabic-speaking person might make a lot of mistakes when trying to use Modern Standard Arabic. Even Arabic speakers need a lot of proofreading when they're writing a very important document. What about choosing between dialects then? Variants of Arabic dialects sound pretty different from each other. They're almost like a different language. Choosing the dialect to study, of course, has to do with the region of the Arabic-speaking world you're interested in, but you should keep another factor in mind. Some dialects are easier to learn and pronounce depending on your native language. For instance, I noticed that Levantine dialects are easier to learn than Egyptian dialect if your native language is Japanese. That's because of similarities in rhythm and phonemes. So listening to different dialects is a good way to get a feel of how they sound before you make up your mind. Keep in mind, though, that the most widely understood Arabic dialects are Egyptian Arabic and Levantine Arabic because of how popular their media is in the Arabic-speaking countries. I hope you liked our lesson. If you have any more questions, please leave a comment below, and I will see you in the next episode. Salam!
Hi, welcome to Introduction to Arabic. My name is Alicia, and I'm joined by...
Hi everyone, I'm Yafa.
In this lesson, you'll learn the basics of Arabic writing. First, let's introduce you to the Arabic alphabet.
The Arabic alphabet consists of 28 letters.
There are 3 vowels,
Alif, Wa, Ya.
The rest are consonants.
Ba, تاء ثاء جيم دل را زاء.
And so on. 5 consonant letters are emphatic or hard versions of other letters. They're pronounced deeper in the throat.
ضاد حا صاد ظا قاف. Let's talk a little bit about the sequence that they are written in.
Just like how English orders its alphabet in A, B, C, and so forth, there is a proper order in which Arabic letters are sequenced too.
There are actually 2 ways the Arabic alphabet is ordered. One is called abjad and the other hijab. For this introductory lesson, just understand that abjad is the older version, while the hijab is the newer version that's commonly used in modern-day dictionaries.
So if you had to choose, try to learn the newer version.
Hijab. Just like how there are abjad and hijab orders of the Arabic alphabet, there are also 2 different styles of writing in Arabic. The first is classical Arabic, the language of the Quran, and the classical literature. It differs from the other type of written Arabic in style and vocabulary, some of which is abandoned now.
The second is modern standard Arabic, the universal language of the Arabic-speaking world, which is understood by all Arabic speakers. It's the language of the vast majority of written material and of formal TV shows, lectures, and so on.
Once again, you can think of them as the old and the newer style.
The biggest difference between these 2 writing styles is that classical Arabic represents vowels, while modern standard Arabic mostly does not. Let's try to draw a comparison to English to better demonstrate this point. Take, for example, a word like cover in English. It's written C-O-V-E-R. This is how you would write it in classical Arabic.
In modern standard Arabic, however, it's customary to omit the vowels. So it will be written CVR in modern standard Arabic.
In this case, the vowels are merely implied. It relies on you to fill in the gaps on your own to come up with the correct word based on context.
This makes learning Arabic more difficult in the beginning, but once you become proficient, it will be like reading in shorthand.
Let's see what it would look like in Arabic.
Take the verb for go in Arabic. Classical Arabic will be written like this. In pronounced ذهب.
Modern standard Arabic, however, would remove the vowels, so it would appear like this, and be pronounced
ذهب. 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 Vowel text appear in the Quran. They are also used, though with less consistency, in other religious texts, in classical poetry, in books for children, in foreign learners, and occasionally in complex texts to avoid ambiguity.
Modern standard Arabic is used everywhere else, meaning it's much more common. So most of the time, the vowels would not be written at all.
The writing style of Arabic may require some getting used to, because unlike English and other Western languages, Arabic is written in the opposite direction, from right to left.
So, using the previous example,
ذهب. The goes first, followed by ha and then be. While words are written from right to left, numerals are written from left to right instead, so please keep that in mind.
Okay, now that you know that Arabic is written from right to left, let's talk a bit about the different forms of a letter.
As you can see, Arabic is written in cursive. Unlike English, writing cursive in Arabic is not optional. It is always written this way, where letters within a word connect from one to the next.
Each letter is written differently depending on their position within a word. A letter can exhibit up to 4 distinct forms: initial, medial, final, or isolated.
Take the letter B, for example.
This letter is written in the initial form. When it's the first letter in a word, it'll be written like this.
B, بيض.
It'll be written in the medial form when it's wedged between 2 other letters.
باء انطباع.
It'll be written in the final form when it's the last letter in a word.
باء واجب.
And when the letter stands alone, it'll be written using the isolated form.
باء.
Well done! Now let's end this lesson by recapping what we've learned. In this lesson, you learned that there are 28 letters in the Arabic alphabet. 3 of them are vowels and the rest are consonants. Texts using classical Arabic are voweled, but more commonly, everyday Arabic is written using modern standard Arabic, which nearly always has them omitted. You also learned that Arabic is written from right to left, and that there are 4 forms of a letter: the initial, medial, final, and isolated.
Hi everyone! Do you know the 1,000 most useful phrases in Arabic? In this lesson, you'll be able to know all of them, so sit back, relax, and have a cup of tea as you listen and learn.
أين الحمام؟
عذراً.
مذهل.
لدي حجز.
بكم هذا؟
ما هذا؟ شكراً. حقاً؟
هل يمكنك أن تعطيني خصم؟ هل خدمة الواي فاي مجانية؟
الحساب لو سمحت. هل لديك أي توصيات؟ يمكن أن أجرب هذا؟
You just learned the 1,000 most useful phrases in Arabic. And if you're interested in learning more, try learning the core 2,000 word list. With this, you'll understand 95% of the language, and best of all, this is not a joke. Check out the description below and go to ArabicPod101.com now. See you next time.
Hi everybody, this is Nora. Welcome to Ask a Teacher, where I'll be answering some of your most common Arabic questions. The question for this lesson is, how different is modern standard Arabic from Arabic dialects? And how different are dialects from each other? Greetings are one of the things we learn first when we learn a new language. But how different are greetings, for example, from modern standard Arabic to other Arabic dialects, and from one Arabic dialect to another? Let's see some examples of the difference in some greetings. Hello, how are you? مرحبا, كيف حالك? Hi, ازيك? مرحبا, كيفك? Good. بخير. كويس. منيح. Now let's see an example of a sentence like what's your name in modern standard Arabic and in different dialects. What's your name? ما اسمك? اسمك ايه؟ شو اسمك? Here's another example. How old are you? كم عمرك؟ عندك كام سنة؟ قديش عمرك؟ To change a noun from indefinite to definite, you add an article that is basically like the in English. There's a difference in the pronunciation in different Arabic dialects. Let's see the word the love as an example. الحب, الحب, الحب. Notice the difference between el and il. These are basic examples of differences between modern standard Arabic and 2 different Arabic dialects. Did you know that on our website, ArabicPod101.com, you can learn modern standard Arabic, Egyptian Arabic, and Moroccan Arabic? Check out our website for more information. If you have any more questions, please leave a comment below, and I will see you in the next episode. Salam!
Hi everybody, I'm Perihan from ArabicPod101.com. Do you know what monsters Egyptian people are scared of? In this lesson, you will learn about 3 monsters in Egypt. Let's start with the most popular monster, Jinn. Jinn. They are the monsters concealed from our senses. A jinn is a shape-shifting spirit or a genie. Not all jinns are evil, and some, like humans, they have freedom of choice. Some live in cemeteries and can possess humans. Like animals, they attack if they sense fear. That sounds pretty scary, right? You might have heard of the next monster. The next one is Abu Rigl Maslucha. Abu Rigl Maslucha. This can be translated as the man with a burnt leg. The Abu Masluha is a terrifying boogeyman that scares naughty children. Misbehaving children get sent to Abu Ragl Masluha by their parents. He takes the kids to cook and eat them. He has burns because he was disobedient to his parents. Okay, here is the last monster. Innaddeha. Innaddeha. Have you heard of this one? It can be translated as the caller. The Naddaha is a beautiful but scary sea nymph. A Naddaha is a gorgeous female spirit with long black hair. She appears to men by walking by the Nile, hypnotizes them, and calls them to a watery death. Let's wrap up this lesson by recapping what we've learned. Listen to the names of each monster and repeat after me. Jinn, Gin, Gin. A man with a burnt leg. Abu Ragl Masluha. Abu Ragl Masluha. The caller. Innaddeha. Innaddeha. Well done! Did you know that Egyptians do not celebrate Halloween? It's considered a pagan festival and is therefore not encouraged by Islam. And that's it! You just learned about 3 of the scariest monsters in Egypt. Now, learn Arabic twice as fast by downloading all your PDF cheat sheets, including survival phrases, pickup lines, business etiquette, and more. Check out the description below and go to ArabicPod101.com now. I'll see you next time. مع السلامة. You will learn about 3 scary monsters in Egypt. Okay. 1. Me.
Hi, welcome to Introduction to Arabic. My name is Alicia, and I'm joined by...
Hi everyone, I'm Yafa.
In this lesson, we'll focus on teaching you the most useful Arabic words and phrases for absolute beginners.
Make sure you are repeating the words out loud after I say the examples.
Are you ready? Let's get started. The best phrase to learn when studying a new language is one that expresses gratitude and appreciation. If you had to learn only a single phrase, this would be it.
We taught you this phrase in the first lesson of this series. Do you remember what it was? Shukran. It means thank you. Shukran.
Keep repeating after Yafa until you get it.
Shukran.
Your turn.
Shukran. Shukran.
Okay, one last time.
Shukran.
The next phrase we'll teach you is perhaps the second most useful phrase of all. It's to apologize or to excuse yourself.
معذرة. And it means sorry or excuse me. معذرة.
Use this phrase when you want to grab a waiter's attention or when you're hustling through the busy streets of Cairo.
معذرة.
Repeat after Yafa.
معذرة.
Your turn.
معذرة.
Imagine you're on the street and you want to stop someone to ask them for directions. What do you say?
معذرة.
Okay, one last time.
معذرة.
Now you can say thank you, excuse me, and sorry in Arabic. Let's move on. Asking where something is an incredibly important and useful phrase to learn. You're going to need this when asking where the bathroom, the train station, or where the hotel is. To ask where something is, put where first,
أين
and then add the name of the place or location. For example, if you want to ask, where is the bathroom?
أين الحمام
Do you remember emphatic consonants in Arabic? We talked about it briefly in Lesson 2 on pronunciation.
The letter H is pronounced deep in the throat. Ha.
This sound is pronounced very deep in the throat. You want to make an H sound, but with the throat constricted a little.
Ha.
One trick to produce this sound is to push your tongue as far back in your mouth as you can and then say the word hot. It should help you to pronounce this sound.
Ha.
One last time.
Ha. الحمام أين الحمام
Try saying the complete sentence.
أين الحمام
Once more.
أين الحمام
Well done. Now, if you wanted to ask where the train station is in Arabic, it'll be
أين محطة القطار أين محطة القطار
Repeat it again.
أين محطة القطار
So you can ask where something is simply by saying
أين
and then adding the name of the place or location. So if the word for hotel is,
فندق
how would you ask, where is the hotel in Arabic? First you would say,
أين
then add hotel.
فندق 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 ماريوت القاهرة فندق ماريوت القاهرة
Convenience store in Arabic is,
بقالة
where is the convenience store would be,
أين البقالة أين البقالة
repeat it one last time.
أين البقالة
You can ask where anything is in Arabic by saying,
أين
and then adding the place or location. In this final lesson, you learned how to say thank you, excuse me, sorry, and to ask where something is in Arabic. And in this series, we introduced you to the basics of Arabic pronunciation, grammar, writing, and more. Let's conclude with some parting advice from Yafa and listen to some of her tips on how to learn Arabic from a native Arabic perspective.
The best way to learn Arabic, particularly if you want to improve your communication skills, is to watch and study contemporary Arabic videos. That's because we often use expressions that aren't necessarily introduced in grammar textbooks. I believe that listening to Arabic music is one of the easiest ways to immerse yourself and to learn Arabic. Additionally, music teaches you all sorts of things, including cultural expressions and the values of a community. You get to learn much more than just the language. Finally, watching contemporary videos such as our video here at ArabicPod101.com will ensure that you are learning real, applicable Arabic in the fastest and most effective way.
You are sitting on a bus that is about to arrive at the next bus stop. Suddenly, a signal lights up. What does the signal mean? What does the signal mean? The signal reads, "Please stay seated until the bus stops."
نرجو الانتظار حتى يتوقف الباص تماماً.
Hi everyone, welcome to Ask a Teacher, where I'll be answering some of your most common Arabic questions. The question for this lesson is, where is Arabic and its varieties spoken? There are many different definitions of the Middle East. Some say from Morocco to Iran, some exclude Iran and Turkey, some exclude Morocco, and some even exclude North Africa. I guess the borders of the Middle East are vague, and not everyone agrees on them. That's why in our lessons we like to use the term Arabic-speaking countries or Arab world instead. That's because we're concerned with Arabic as a language and with its varieties. In this lesson, we will learn together where exactly these variants of Arabic are spoken. Let's start from left to right, from Africa to Asia. First, we have the Maghreb region, which includes Mauritania, Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, and Libya. Again, not everyone agrees on the definition of the Maghreb region, so opinions may vary slightly. Arabic spoken in the Arab Maghreb region is characterized by infusing a lot of French vocabulary and grammar with Arabic and Berber languages. Many other languages are spoken as first languages in this region, like Tamazight varieties and French. Next, we have Egypt and Sudan, where the dialect widely known as Egyptian Arabic is spoken. It's a dialect of Arabic with a lot of ancient Egyptian, Latin, Turkish, French, and English influence. It's a popular dialect in the Arab world due to the popularity of Egyptian music and shows. Other languages are also spoken in this region, like Nubian in northern Sudan and southern Egypt. Arabic variants are also spoken in other African countries like Djibouti, Somalia, Eritrea, Tanzania, Chad, and Comoros. Next, let's move on to Asia. Let's take a look at the Levantine region. This includes Palestine, Israel, Jordan, Syria, and Lebanon. Keep in mind that not all Levantine dialects are the same though. The Gaza Strip region, for example, has some Egyptian influence. Lebanese Arabic has lots of French loanwords. Syrian Arabic has many Turkish loanwords, and so on. However, for the most part, they're mutually intelligible. Next, we have the Gulf region dialects, which are spoken in Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Oman, Kuwait, UAE, Qatar, and Yemen. The dialects of this region and the Levantine region are considered the closest to modern standard Arabic. There are still quite a few differences though. Dialects vary widely in this region, with lots of subdialects depending on the city or the region. I remember listening to a friend from Sana'a talk to his friend on the phone, and I understood absolutely nothing from that 2-minute conversation. Luckily, my friends from Sana'a talk to me in Egyptian Arabic so that we can understand each other. Lastly, we have Iraq, in the far east end of the Arab world. Here, Iraqi Arabic, commonly known as Baghdad Arabic, is spoken. This dialect has Turkish, Persian, Kurdish, and Aramaic influences. The interesting thing about the Arab world is the diaglossia, meaning that people use different languages depending on the situation. As a result of this diaglossia, the news of most of these countries is in modern standard Arabic. But if you walk in the streets or make friends in any of these countries, you won't hear anybody speaking modern standard Arabic. Instead, they use their own dialects. Pretty interesting, right? If you have any more questions, please leave a comment below and I will see you in the next episode.
Hi everyone, I'm Pirhan and this is 10 must know autumn vocabulary. Let's get started. Sweater, sweater, sweater. And in English it's sweater. Wow. You can also say jacket. For example, you can say السويتر الأحمر هيليق على لبسك. The red sweater matches your clothes. You can say also الجاكيت الأحمر هيليق على لبسك. Usually we use jacket more than sweater. بتمطر, rainy. بتمطر, rainy. For example, you can say الدنيا دلوقتي بتمطر. It's raining now. Or if you want to say it's about to rain, you can say الدنيا شكلها تمطر. هوا, windy. هوا, windy. هوا also means air. For example, you can say النهاردة الجو هوا. Today it's windy. You can also say النهاردة الجو هوا قوي. Today it's very windy. There's like a new song like هوا 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 هوا. She saw like the guy she has a crush on and she was like, oh هوا هوا. It's so funny. برد, cold. برد, cold. For example, you can say امبارح الجو كان برد قوي. Yesterday the weather was so cold. You can also say ساقع. It also means cold. And you can say امبارح الجو كان ساقع قوي. برد also means cold as in catching cold. So for example you can say الأسبوع اللي فات كله كان عندي برد. Last week I had a cold. الخريف autumn. الخريف autumn. For example you can say الخريف ابتدى. Autumn started. السحاب clouds. السحاب which means clouds. For example you can say السحاب كتير قوي. There are so many clouds. Or for example you can say السحابة دي شكلها عامل زي الحصان. This cloud looks like a horse and so on. For example قميص بكم long sleeved shirt. قميص بكم long sleeved shirt. For example you can say الراجل اللي لابس قميص بكم هو صاحب المحل. The man in a long sleeved shirt is the owner of the shop. Or for example you can say النهاردة الدنيا حر فهشمر كم القميص, which means today the weather is so hot so I'm gonna roll up my sleeves. ورق الشجر leaves. ورق الشجر leaves. ورق الشجر means tree leaves. So ورق means leaves and شجر means trees. So tree leaves. For example you can say الجنينة مليانة ورق شجر. The garden is full of leaves. Or ألوان ورق الخريف جميلة جدا. The colors of the autumn leaves are so beautiful. عيد الشكر Thanksgiving. The next one is عيد الشكر Thanksgiving. For example you can say النهاردة بيحتفلوا بعيد الشكر في أمريكا. They are celebrating Thanksgiving in the USA today. مغيمة cloudy. مغيمة cloudy. For example you can say الدنيا كانت مغيمة قوي الصبح. It was very cloudy in the morning. You can say الدنيا مغيمة قوي دلوقتي شكلها هتمطر. Today it looks very cloudy. I think it's about to rain.
Want to speak real Arabic from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at ArabicPod101.com.
Hi everybody, I'm Perihan from ArabicPod101.com. Do you know how to say I love you in Arabic? In this lesson, you'll learn 3 different ways to say I love you and a special phrase for Valentine's Day. Let's start with the most common phrase. أنا أحبك. أنا أحبك. I love you. This phrase is direct. You should use it only when you're confessing your love. If you want to be less direct, you can use this phrase. أنت تعني الكثير بالنسبة لي. أنت تعني الكثير بالنسبة لي. It means you mean so much to me. Now, if you want to be more romantic in expressing your love for someone, you can use this phrase. لا يمكن للكلمات أن تصف حبي لك. لا يمكن للكلمات أن تصف حبي لك. It means words cannot describe my love for you. Now you know 3 different ways to say I love you in Arabic. And here is one more. What if you want to spend Valentine's Day with someone special? In that case, you can say هل يمكنك أن ترافقني في عيد الحب؟ هل يمكنك أن ترافقني في عيد الحب؟ It means, will you be my Valentine? Let's wrap up this lesson by recapping what we've learned. Listen to the expression and repeat after me. I love you. أنا أحبك. أنا أحبك. You mean so much to me. أنت تعني الكثير بالنسبة لي. أنت تعني الكثير بالنسبة لي. Words cannot describe my love for you. لا يمكن للكلمات أن تصف حبي لك. لا يمكن للكلمات أن تصف حبي لك. Will you be my Valentine? هل يمكنك أن ترافقني في عيد الحب؟ هل يمكنك أن ترافقني في عيد الحب؟ Well done! Here is a fun fact. Do you know what color of clothing Egyptian people wear for Valentine's Day? Egyptians wear red clothes on this day as it is a symbol of love and a way to show how much they love their beloved. When you visit the coffee shops, especially the ones overlooking the Nile, on Valentine's Day, you will be able to spot people wearing red clothes very easily. You just learned 3 different ways to say I love you in Arabic and 1 special phrase for Valentine's Day.
Yeah. Do I also wear a mustache?
No.
Why?
Then you're gonna. Okay, so yeah. So you're like.
Good lover, why? I'm sorry, I usually don't throw flowers at people. Come on, someone come here and does it for me. What? That's exactly what I'm doing.
What you're doing is. I'll see you next time. Something.
That's exactly what I'm doing. Yes! Yeah! Sad words. Okay, let's put some water. Okay. Hi everyone, I am Perhan and this is the Arabic Top Words. Today's top words are going to be about top 10 saddest words. Okay, let's get started. متضايق, upset. متضايق, upset. For example, أنا متضايقة جدا. أنا متضايقة. No, I cannot say it with a smiling face. أنا متضايقة جدا. I'm very upset. طهقان زهقان متضايق. That's a song. It says طهقان زهقان متضايق. طهقان means I'm through. زهقان means I'm bored. متضايق means I'm upset. يتعور, to hurt. يتعور, to hurt. خلي بالك هتتعور. Watch out, you'll get hurt. For example, الأسبوع اللي فات وقعت من على العجلة وتعورت. Last week I fell off my bike and I got hurt. وحيد, lonely. وحيد, lonely. For example, حاسس إني وحيد. I feel so lonely. زعلان, sad. زعلان, sad. هو زعلان عشان أخوه عيان. He's sad because his brother is sick. كنت زعلانة قوي لأني قطعت البنطلون لما وقعت. I was very sad because I ripped my jeans when I fell off my bike. For example, you can use this popular Egyptian phrase, ما تزعلش, كله هيبقى تمام. Don't be sad, everything's going to be okay. يعيط, to cry. يعيط, to cry. To cry. I was about to cry. بتعيط ليه? Why are you crying? Because I ripped my jeans. مش متحمس, discouraged. Okay. Oh, I like this one. مش متحمس, discouraged. مش متحمس, your Egyptian friends might use it with you sometimes if you invite them over to do something or go somewhere. And if they answer مش متحمس, مش متحمسة for a girl, they might subtly want to tell you that they don't want to do it or they don't want to go, but they'll just tell you, I'm so discouraged, I'm a little discouraged about it. That means they probably don't want to do it. So take the hint. For example, مش متحمسة ومش هشترك في المسابقة السنة دي. I'm discouraged and I won't be joining the competition this year. It's not like you don't have faith in your abilities or something. It means that you don't really want to do it, you don't like it, or you're not interested in it. محبط, disappointed. محبط, disappointed. For example, you can say أنا محبط بسبب تصرفاتك. Your acts disappoint me. Usually you would hear it from a parent. I am so disappointed by your actions. أنا محبطة من تصرفاتك. موجوع, in pain. موجوع, in pain. For example, أنا موجوعة قوي من ساعة ما خلعت سنتي. I'm in so much pain since I got my tooth extracted. Or maybe you can say أنا موجوعة قوي من ساعة ما وقعت من على العجلة. I'm in so much pain ever since I fell off my bike. سلبي negative. سلبي it means negative. For example, ما تبقاش سلبي. Don't be negative. Be positive. Like, be positive. Actually, I am being negative. فاشل a failure. فاشل a failure. هو طالب فاشل. He's a failure. He failed as a student. He failed as a son. And he's failing as a husband as well. And that's it for today. Thank God. Tell us about your favorite sad words or the sad words you use the most, and in the comments below. Tell us if we missed any sad words in the comment below. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and visit our website, arabicpod101.com. Bye-bye.
Yeah, and cry a lot.
What did I do? What happened? Oh yeah, I remember. رحت أدور على بنطلون تاني بس ما لقيتش فبقيت مكتئبة. I went to look for a new pants. I went to buy a new pants, like the same pants I ripped. I went to buy a new pants, but I did not find any, so I was depressed. And that's true. They didn't have it in H&M anymore.
Oh, no.
It was my favorite pair of jeans. Now I'm stuck with these. Hi everyone, I know. Hi everyone, Ana Perihan. Oh, that's not funny. Okay. I just introduced myself in Arabic. It's only for people who know Arabic.
Hi everyone, this is Nora from ArabicPod101.com. Welcome to Ask an Arabic Teacher. The question for this lesson is, how do I sound polite in Arabic? Many languages have honorific speech as a whole different level of speech. Arabic honorifics are much easier than that. Much like English, Modern Standard Arabic, and almost all Arabic dialects have certain words and titles that you can add to sentences to make your speech sound more polite. First, let's start with honorific terms and see what they look like in action. The first one is min fadlik. Min fadlik, meaning please. Min fadlik is usually used with requests and orders. Adding min fadlik to any request will make you sound more polite and people will take you more seriously. For instance, الحساب من فضلك. الحساب من فضلك. The check, please. The next honorific term is لو سمحت. لو سمحت, literally meaning if you may allow. This one means pardon me or excuse me. It's a little like min fadlik, but is more often used with questions. Adding it to any question you ask will make you sound more polite. For example, لو سمحت أين المدخل؟ لو سمحت أين المدخل? Excuse me, where is the entrance? The next honorific term is حضرتك. حضرتك, or in the Egyptian dialect, حضرتك, is the polite alternative of you. Replace you with حضرتك or حضرتك in a sentence and you will immediately sound more polite. For example, أين أنت is the casual way to say where are you. In the polite version, this becomes أين حضرتك. أين حضرتك, which also means where are you, but more polite. Next, we have أستاذ and أستاذة, which mean Mr. and Miss. Use أستاذ for masculine and أستاذة for feminine before people's names to sound more polite. These are typically used for teachers and to address people in a business setting. For example, Sami, which is a man's name, should become أستاذ Sami, meaning Mr. Sami. Hiba, which is a woman's name, should become أستاذة Hiba, meaning Miss Hiba. Lastly, we have تفضل. تفضل is the polite way of saying come over here or come in or go ahead. It's a very useful word and is used in many contexts, as you can tell from its many different meanings. You might use it to invite someone in invite them to start eating, and many other things. Keep in mind that it changes slightly according to the gender. For example, the casual singular masculine form of this word is ادخل or تعال. It means go ahead or come in. The polite singular masculine is تفضل. The casual singular feminine is ادخلي or تعالي. And the polite singular feminine is تفضلي. تفضلي. I hope you like our lesson. If you have any more questions about the polite form, please leave a comment below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. And I will see you in the next episode. Salam.
Want to speak real Arabic from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at ArabicPod101.com.
Hi everyone, my name is Ferhan and this is Arabic Top Words. Today's topic is going to be about how to respond to how are you? ازيك? How are you? First, we have to understand how to understand the word how are you. So how are you in Arabic is? How are you in Egyptian Arabic is ازيك for a male and ازيك for a female. So when you meet up with a friend, then they will most likely start with hi ازيك or hi ازيك if you're a female. وانت and you. To ask the person in front of you how they are after they've asked you how you are, you will say وانت for a male and وانتي for a female. And you. And then you can also expand on it and say وانت وانتي أخباركم إيه الفترة الأخيرة? How have you been doing recently? Or instead you can say عامل إيه? عامل إيه? How have you been doing? You will answer how you are and then you will say وانت عامل إيه؟ إيه أخبارك؟ How are you? What's your news? أنا بخير. I'm fine. So how to answer how are you? So when someone asks you إزيك or إزيك, you have several ways to answer. For example, one would be أنا بخير. أنا بخير. I'm fine. One more phrase you can use is أنا كويس for a male and أنا كويسة for a female. It also means I'm fine. And it's probably the most used one. أنا كويسة. أنا كويس. You can also say تمام الحمد لله. تمام الحمد لله. I'm good, thank God. So if you want to say that you're good, you have three ways to say it. أنا بخير. أنا كويس. أنا كويسة. تمام الحمد لله. مش وحش. I'm not bad. Or if you don't feel so well, it's not so good, it's not so bad, you can say مش وحش. I'm not bad. You can say مش بطال. مش بطال. It also means it's not so bad. I'm not so bad. أنا بخير برضو. I'm fine too. For the other person, if you ask them وانت and you, how are you? إزيك? They probably might answer you أنا كمان كويس. أنا كمان كويس. I'm also okay. I'm also good. Or they can say أنا بخير برضو. أنا بخير برضو. I'm fine too. Or they can say كله كويس. All is good. That's just like the German phrase. نعسان. I'm sleepy. If you want to say that you're sleepy, you can say أنا نعسان. That means I'm sleepy. You can say عايزة أنام. It means I want to have a nap or I want to sleep. وحش. I'm feeling bad. If you really don't feel good, maybe you want to say I'm feeling bad, so you might say وحش. وحش. I'm not that good. I'm quite bad. You can say الحالة صعبة. الحالة صعبة. It has been tough. It literally like says the condition is hard. Or you can say تعبان قوي الفترة الأخيرة. It means recently I'm very tired. I'm exhausted. Oh, yeah, I think that's it. Like if you want to say that you're feeling bad. ماشي الحال. I'm okay. If you're not so good and you're not so bad and you're just okay, you can say ماشي الحال. ماشي الحال. الحال means condition and ماشي it means it's going smoothly, I think. It means like I'm okay. I'm doing more or less okay. ماشي الحال. زي الفل. I am great. If you're feeling great, and I hope you do, you can say زي الفل. زي الفل. I'm great. I think full is one type of jasmine flower. So in our imagination or our head, like jasmine is quite white and it smells good. So if your heart is white and you, well, necessarily you don't have to smell good, but if your heart is good, you don't have any problems, it's white, and you feel refreshed, you can say زي الفل, just like Jasmine. I'm great, just like Jasmine. You can say ممتاز, ممتاز, excellent, I'm excellent. It also means I'm great. شكرا لسؤالك. Thank you for asking. And in the end of all this, you can thank the person for asking you how are you, and you can say شكرا على سؤالك. Thank you for asking. You can also say ربنا يخليك, ربنا يخليك. Literally, it means may God prolong your life or something like that. It's quite nice to add it in the end. Recently, Egyptian girls, including me, don't really use the word thank you, like shukran in Arabic, and instead we use merci, which is quite cute. That's it for today. I hope you liked the video. Why don't you tell us in the comments below about your favorite response to how are you in Arabic. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe our videos, and visit our website arabicpod101.com. Bye bye. So the next word is أنا بخير, which means I'm fine. No, I'm fine. Hi everyone, my name is Perihan and this is top 10 phrases your parents always say. Let's get started. Okay, actually I think it's all from the mom's perspective, because usually like the Arab mom or the Egyptian mom is the one like who is always like so giving orders, but like the dad is like, it's okay, he's gonna be fine, like they're gonna be okay, no worries. So the mom, okay, خلي بالك, be careful. خلي بالك, خلي بالك, be careful. For example, she can say, or like your parents can say, خلي بالك لا تقع, be careful or else you'll fall. اهدى, be quiet. اهدى, اهدى, be quiet. Or sometimes they would say خليك هادي, be quiet. اعمل الواجب بتاعك, do your homework. اعمل الواجب بتاعك, اعمل الواجب بتاعك, do your homework. And sometimes they would say, like to make you hurry, يلا اعمل الواجب بتاعك, يلا اعمل الواجب بتاعك, come on, do your homework. روح نام, go to bed. روح نام, روح نام, go to bed. When they urge you to do it, so they would say يلا روح نام, يلا روح نام, which means come on, go to bed. Or يلا ادخل السرير, يلا ادخل السرير, come on, go to bed, like go to sleep. بس, stop. بس, بس, stop. And sometimes they would say خلاص, خلاص, which means enough. So sometimes the parents would shout at their children بس خلاص, بس خلاص, stop, it's enough, or like stop it. هو أنت قلت إيه? What did you say? This one is so funny. This one is like when the child says something under their breath and like the mom is like هو أنت قلت إيه? هو أنت قلت إيه? Like what did you just say? And sometimes قول تاني كده, قول تاني كده, say this one more time, like say it, I dare you, say it one more time. And then maybe she would say أنا مش بهزر, I'm not kidding. أنا مش بهزر, أنا مش بهزر, I'm not kidding. And sometimes they say أنا مش بهزر على فكرة, أنا مش بهزر على فكرة. By the way, I'm not kidding. اطفي التلفزيون دلوقتي. Turn the TV off now. اطفي التلفزيون دلوقتي. اطفي التلفزيون دلوقتي. Turn off the TV right now. And sometimes they would say اطفي البلايستيشن دلوقتي. اطفي البلايستيشن دلوقتي. Turn off the PlayStation right now. هو أنا لسه قايلة إيه? What did I just say? Oh, this one is also important. When they say هو أنا لسه قايلة إيه? هو أنا لسه قايلة إيه? What did I just say? And sometimes they say أنا قلت إيه دلوقتي? أنا قلت إيه دلوقتي? What did I just say? It's like when the child is not behaving. غسلت أسنانك? Did you brush your teeth? This one is nice. غسلت أسنانك? Did you brush your teeth? Sometimes you might ask غسلت وشك? غسلت وشك? Did you wash your face? غسلت إيدك? Did you wash your hands? And so on. And that's it everyone. I hope you liked the video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and visit our website arabicpod101.com. Bye bye.
Want to speak real Arabic from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at arabicpod101.com.
Hi guys, this is Nora from arabicpod101.com. Welcome to Ask a Teacher, where I will answer some of your most common Arabic questions. So I get asked this question a lot because this is one of those things that are specific to Semitic languages. And the question is, how are Arabic words created or formed? Derivation is the core of 99% of Arabic words. All words of Arabic origin come from a 3 or 4 letter base words called roots. In this lesson, we will learn how derivation works in Arabic. Arabic is a fusional language, meaning that changes can happen in the body of the word itself to create other words of related meanings. In other words, letters are inserted not just as prefixes or suffixes to the root, but also in between the root letters to form new words. Let's take a look at one of the most basic verbs in Arabic. The root is كتب. كتب. The root just on its own is the singular past tense form of the verb. This is also the form we use to look a word up in a classical Arabic to Arabic dictionary. Let's see how we can form a huge number of words out of this root. كتب, he wrote, which is the root. كاتب, a writer. كتاب, a book. كتابة, writing. مكتب, a desk. كتيب, a pamphlet. مكتبة, a library. اكتتاب, contribution of funds. Now let's see the variations of the verb to cook. طبخ, he cooked, which is the root. طبخة, a meal. مطبخ, a kitchen. طباخ, a chef. طبخ, cooking. مطبوخ, cooked. As you can see, letters are often inserted in between the root letters, not just as prefixes or suffixes, to form new words. This makes it a bit different from English, where we usually add an ing or er to create new words. If you have any more questions, please leave a comment below, and I will see you in the next episode. Salam.
You are at a bus terminal where you're heading to a special hotel to check in for the first time. According to an email you received, what are the things that you need to provide to the staff at this special hotel? What are the things that you need to provide to the staff at this special hotel? The email says that you need to provide your confirmation number and your passport details.
رقم تأكيد الحجز. تفاصيل جواز السفر.
Hi everyone, my name is Perihan and this is Arabic Top Words. Today's topic is going to be about math words. Of all the words we need to know, we're going to do math. Because it's so important. We first need to know how to say math in Arabic. الرياضيات. Math. الرياضيات. الرياضيات. Or الحساب. الحساب. الحساب is for the intermediate or beginner level math. And الرياضيات is the advanced. بحب الرياضيات. بحب الرياضيات. I like math. Or بكره الرياضيات. بكره الرياضيات. I hate math. I think that most people would go into the latter. Another word you need to know about math is رقم, number, رقم, رقم, number or a digit. For example, الرقم ده كبير قوي. الرقم ده كبير قوي. This number is very big. Or الرقم ده صغير قوي. الرقم ده صغير قوي. This number is very small. نص, half, نص, نص, half. For example, عايز نص رغيف عيش. عايز نص رغيف عيش. I want half a loaf of bread. Usually in Egypt, if you go to buy groceries, if you go to buy vegetables or fruits, we usually sell in kilos. So if you want 500 grams, if you want half a kilo, you would say عايز نص كيلو من ده. I would like half a kilo of this. في المية, percent. Another word you might need while shopping is في المية. في المية, percent. For example, في خصم 30%. في خصم 30%. There's a 30% discount. زوجي, even. Another word that is related to math and you might need it is knowing the difference between odd and even numbers. For example, زوجي, زوجي, that would mean even. And the word زوجي in Arabic literally means pair. So it's kind of easy to memorize it. زوجي, it means it refers to even numbers. For example, 2, 4, 6, and I'm not so good at math, so I'll stop here. 4 رقم زوجي. 4 رقم زوجي. 4 is an even number. فردي, odd. فردي, فردي. It means odd. And in Arabic, فردي also means singular, so that's easy to memorize. So for example, you can say 5 رقم فردي. 5 is an odd number. زائد, plus. Okay, now let's get to calculation. The first word we have is plus. So that means زائد. زائد. For example, 1 زائد 1 بيساوي 2. That's so easy. 1 زائد 1 بيساوي 2. 1 plus 1 equals 2. 1 plus 1 equals 2. ناقص, minus. ناقص, ناقص, minus. For example, it's getting more difficult. 3 ناقص 2 بيساوي 1. 3 ناقص 2 بيساوي 1. 3 minus 2 equals 1. في, times. في, في, times. For example, 2 في 2 ب4. 2 في 2 ب4. 2 times 2 equals 4. 2 في 2 ب4. 2 في 3 ب6. 2 في 4 ب8. 2 في 5 ب10. 2 في 6 ب12. يقسم, to divide. يقسم, يقسم, to divide. For example, عشان تعرف الإجابة هتحتاج تقسم الرقم على 2. To get the answer, you'll have to divide the number by 2. I wonder what kind of question is that. The end! That is the only fun math lesson I've ever had. So I hope you enjoyed this fun math lesson, and why don't you tell us in the comments below about your favorite calculation word or your favorite math word. And also don't forget to subscribe and like our video and visit our website arabicpod101.com. Bye bye! Do you know this song? 1 is the loneliest number that you'll ever do. 2 can be as lonely as 1. It's the loneliest number after number 1. Hi everyone, my name is Perihan and this is Arabic Top Words. Today's topic is going to be about 10 ways to say hello. So let's get started. صباح الخير, good morning. The first way to say hello is صباح الخير. صباح الخير, good morning. So for example, if you go to school, if you're meeting your neighbor in the morning and just usual morning greeting, صباح الخير is the way to go. صباح الخير. صباح means morning, خير means good. So it's a literal translation of صباح الخير. You can also use صباح الفل. صباح الفل. Full is a jasmine flower. It's a full flower, which is basically white and it has a very intense, beautiful smell. It has a very nice smell. So you are wishing that person to have a beautiful day with a beautiful smell like the jasmine flower. And to answer صباح الخير, you should use صباح النور as a good reply to Sabah al-Khair. So for example, if if your neighbor says Sabah al-Khair, you should say Sabah al-Nur, Sabah al-Nur. Nur means light. It means the beautiful light, sunshine light. So basically you're wishing them to enjoy the beautiful sunny day and so on. So they say Sabah al-Khair, you can say Sabah al-Nur, Sabah al-Ful, and so on. You have so many varieties to choose from. Ahlan, hello. The next word is Ahlan, Ahlan, hello. Sometimes you would hear Ahlan wa sahlan, Ahlan wa sahlan. It also means hello. Ahlan is used when you're meeting someone for the first time. Maybe in a business meeting, you would want to shake hands and say Ahlan wa sahlan, Ahlan wa sahlan. Maybe the other person would say Tsharrafna, it's an honor. And usually it's kind of formal, it's a very formal greeting. So don't be afraid to use it in your business meeting or with your employer in the morning, your work colleague. Ahlan wa sahlan or just ahlan would be very appropriate as a formal greeting. ما شفتكش بقالي كتير. Long time no see. The next one is ما شفتكش بقالي كتير. ما شفتكش بقالي كتير. Long time no see. ما شفتكش means I haven't seen you. بقالي كتير means in a long time. So the literal translation would be I haven't seen you in a long time. This is if you want to talk to your male friend. So you would say ما شفتكش بقالي كتير. If you are talking to a female, you would say ما شفتكيش بقالي كتير. ما شفتكيش بقالي كتير. And usually it's followed by أخبارك إيه؟ أخبارك إيه? How have you been? So أخبارك إيه is kind of formal way to say it has been so long. How are you now? What's the news? And so on. So usually you would find them together in one sentence. ما شفتكش بقالي كتير. أخبارك إيه? إزيك? How are you? The next one is إزيك. إزيك. إزيك for a male and إزيك for a female. It means how are you? And that's very informal. So in the morning you can say to your neighbor or your friend صباح الخير إزيك. صباح الخير إزيك. Hello, good morning, how are you? So you can use this with anyone. You can use it with your colleague as well. You can use it in the street. إزيك. إزيك for female. Don't be afraid to use it anywhere you want, anytime. عامل إيه? How is it going? Usually once you say إزيك, you should follow it up by عامل إيه? عامل إيه for a male and عاملة إيه for a female. It means how is it going? عامل إيه? How is it going? So you'd say إزيك, how are you? How is it going? عامل إيه? Or إزيك, how are you for a female? عاملة إيه? How are you? How is it going? Maybe you'll follow it up by إيه أخبارك? إيه أخبارك? Which is kind of similar to أخبارك إيه? أخبارك إيه? But it's kind of the informal way to say how have you been? So you would say إزيك? عامل إيه? إيه أخبارك? If you want to talk to a friend. إزيك عامل إيه? إيه أخبارك? You can say it all in one sentence and it will be just fine. إيه أخبارك is basically the reverse version of أخبارك إيه? But it's kind of a little informal, so you can use it with a friend, you can use it with your family and so on. إزيك عامل إيه؟ إيه أخبارك؟ كله تمام؟ كله تمام. It means is everything good? And in answer to that, the other person would tell you ماشي الحال ماشي الحال. It's going okay. كله تمام كله تمام. All is good. أبدا ما فيش. Nothing is new. Like أبدا means never. Like literally it means never. ما فيش means nothing. So it basically means nothing is going on. Everything is okay. So ما فيش كله ماشي ماشي الحال كله تمام كله تمام. So these are all words, phrases you can use in answer to إيه أخبارك عامل إيه. Hi. Hi. The next one is probably really popular among the young people. Hi. Hi. Which in English is hi. So in the college, in the university, in school, like you'll find like young people always saying hi, إزيك, hi, إزيك, like hi, how are you? Usually parents or like older generation would not really use hi. So if you want to be more friendly with your Egyptian friends who are like in their 20s or maybe even 30s, don't be afraid to use this English word hi. to say hello. So for example, you can also say hi ya shabab, hi ya jama'a. Shabab means young, like young people. Jama'a means group. Basically, it means hi guys, hi guys. So hi shabab, hi ya jama'a, عاملين إيه? How are you? Like as in plural. So don't be afraid to also use hi ya shabab, hi ya jama'a if you are addressing your greetings to a large, to a group or more than one person. مع السلامة, goodbye. مع السلامة, goodbye. مع means to be with, and salama means peace. So literally it means peace be with you. Some people also like saying أشوفك على خير. أشوفك على خير. أشوف means to see, and خير means well or good. So they are wishing to see you in a good or well condition the next time they see you. You can use this usually if you expect that you will not meet this person maybe in a long time, or you will not be able to contact them tomorrow or see them tomorrow. أشوفك على خير means until next time, I wish to see you well. مع السلامة is just very informal and very regular. You can use it every day, مع السلامة, and you would be expecting to see that person again tomorrow, so don't be afraid to use it every day. But maybe you will want to use goodbye, أشوفك على خير, as in goodbye, with someone you know that you're not gonna see very, very soon. مساء الخير, good evening. The next one is مساء الخير, مساء الخير, which means good evening, and it also means good afternoon. So in English, you have good morning in Arabic, which is صباح الخير, and then you have good afternoon and you have good evening. But in Arabic, we only have مساء الخير for both good afternoon and good evening. So don't be afraid. No, not don't be afraid. Like, why is everyone so scared in this video? So please use, if it's 2 p.m. or if it's 3 p.m., please use مساء الخير, مساء الخير, to refer to good afternoon. You can also use it in the evening, like at 7 p.m. You can say مساء الخير, which will be meaning good evening. Another way of greeting, not really hello, is تصبح على خير, تصبح على خير, which means good night. So تصبح means to be awake, to wake up. على خير means well, to be well or to be good. So you wish, instead in good night in English would mean I wish you to wake up in a well condition in Arabic. تصبح على خير. Not really a way to say hello, but it's a very important greeting you should know. فرصة سعيدة, it's nice to meet you. فرصة سعيدة, فرصة سعيدة, it's nice to meet you. So you would say, if you're meeting someone for the first time, أهلا وسهلا, and then you shake hands and you say, my name is, and then you get the other person's name, and then you say, فرصة سعيدة, it's nice to meet you, it's my pleasure to meet you. And the other person will probably say, إحنا أسعد, إحنا أسعد, the pleasure is ours, the pleasure is mine. Usually you can also use it if you are about to leave a business meeting or a very formal situation where you do not expect to be meeting these people again, like you're not gonna talk with that person again. So you would say فرصة سعيدة, and you would go, and it's a very formal way to end the conversation with someone you don't know or on a business level. فرصة سعيدة, فرصة سعيدة. Hello, hello. So if you're gonna pick up the phone in the Arab world or in Egypt, you will want to use the word hello, hello. And then maybe you can say hello, صباح الخير, hello, مساء الخير, hello, أهلا وسهلا, and so on. But don't forget to say hello, just like any European country, when you pick up the phone. And the other person will probably say hello, أهلا وسهلا, and so on. So this is one more way to say hello if you're on the phone. Hello. That's it for today. Why don't you tell us below about your favorite way of saying hello? Also, don't forget to subscribe, like, and visit our website, arabicpod101.com. مع السلامة.
Want to speak real Arabic from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at arabicpod101.com. You are at a bus terminal where you are waiting for your bus. There's a notice posted at the bus stop about a new bus route that will be introduced next year. What is the main advantage of this new bus route? What is the main advantage of this new bus route? The introduction of the new bus eases congestion for each bus on the 301 route.
الباص رقم 309 سيخفف الحمل على باص رقم 301.
You've decided to study a new language, so now what? Well, you want to become fluent fast, right? Here are the top 5 shortcuts to learning a language. Number 1, create a study schedule and set some goals. Many language learners are unorganized. Creating a schedule allows you to free up time to study consistently. Goals give you motivation and something to strive for. Number 2, make it fun. If you learn how to make your study time enjoyable, chances are you'll be more inclined to study. Watch a TV show with subtitles or listen to some music. Number 3, find a language partner. This is the best way to improve your conversation skills. It will help you gain fluency even faster and increase confidence when speaking. Number 4, use word lists to build up a solid vocabulary. This is a great way to build up your fluency, one word at a time. Luckily, we have all the word lists you need, with a range of topics, from food to love. Choose whichever language you want to study and go. Number 5, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Nothing helps you improve more than correcting your own errors. You're more likely to remember it correctly the next time around. Everyone makes mistakes. Don't be afraid to learn from them. There's no magical way to learn a new language overnight, but doing all of these can really help your learning process. And remember, if you're interested in getting on the fast track to fluency, sign up for your free lifetime account. No credit card required, and you'll get the best free online resources. Start learning now.
Hi guys, this is Nora from ArabicPod101.com. Welcome to Ask an Arabic Teacher. The question for this lesson is, do you have any recommendations for Arabic media to watch or to listen to? One of the best ways to learn a language and have fun at the same time is to watch or listen to media presented in that language as a part of your study routine. That way you will hear how it sounds in a natural setting, and with time it won't feel that foreign anymore. First, you have to choose the dialect you want your media to be in. In this lesson, I will give you some recommendations for shows and media to watch or listen to make your Arabic learning experience more engaging than ever. First, let's see media for Modern Standard Arabic. As you know, Modern Standard Arabic is mainly used in the news. That's why most of the Modern Standard Arabic available online is news channels, websites, or radio streams. For that, I recommend BBC Arabic. You can read news on their website, watch the live stream, or listen to BBC Arabic radio on the go. Next, let's take a look at Egyptian Arabic media. This one is probably the most available online in the form of TV shows, movies, variety shows, and music. That's why there is so much to choose from. So here, I would like to recommend some shows that have become really popular in the past couple of years. Nelly Shirihan. Nelly and Shirihan. Nelly Shirihan is a comedy TV show about two cousins, a rich one and a poor one, who reunite in order to find the inheritance their grandfather left them. It is a light comedy show that's sure to make you laugh. Grand Hotel. Grand Hotel. Grand Hotel is the Egyptian version of the Spanish drama by the same name. It tells a story about a young man who goes to Aswan to investigate his sister's sudden disappearance and works as a waiter at the same hotel his sister worked at, and then falls in love with the owner's daughter. Together, they try to solve this mystery. It has elements of suspense and romance. Aiza Goes. I Wanna Get Married. This is another TV show that's become extremely popular. Originally a book by the writer Ghada Abdelal, it tells the story of a lady in her late 20s trying to find a good man and get married. She meets a different man each episode and hilarity ensues. Asal Iswad. Molasses. This movie tells the story of a man who returns to Egypt after living most of his life in the United States. It's a comedy that shows the expectations versus the reality of living in Egypt. It's a good way to see how Egypt looks like from a foreigner's perspective, and it's also hilarious. Most of the shows I mentioned are available for legal streaming on YouTube. Next is Levantine Arabic media. Syrian Levantine Arabic is a popular variety of Arabic dialects. It's become even more popular in the past 10 years because Turkish TV shows became very popular in the Arab world, and they are dubbed in Syrian Arabic. Some of the most popular Syrian dubbed Turkish series are أسميتها فريحة. I named her Fariha. A story of a young poor girl who goes to college on a scholarship and falls in love with a rich guy but hides the fact that she is very poor from everyone. العشق الممنوع, Forbidden Love. This is a story of a young man who slowly falls in love with his uncle's wife. The good thing about Syrian dubbed Turkish drama is that they are very long. An episode is typically 2 hours long, and the series usually lasts for more than 60 episodes, so you'll need more than a lifetime to watch all of them. You can play them while you're working or commuting, and you'll start picking up words in no time. Now for Syrian shows. نص يوم, half a day. A young man goes back to Syria to take care of his late father's business, where he falls in love with a young lady that turns out not to be the woman he was hoping for. Al-Arab, The Godfather. This is a Syrian version of The Godfather. There are obviously a lot of differences, but the story goes along the same lines. Another source of media you should check is Lebanese music. I definitely recommend listening to the Lebanese singer Nancy Ajram because she's absolutely adorable and popular. Also, the translated lyrics for her songs can be found very easily. So that's it for our series. I hope you liked our lessons. If you have any more questions, please leave a comment below and keep practicing Arabic. And thank you for watching. Salam.
Hi everyone, I am Prihan and this is Arabic Top Words. Today's topic is going to be about top 10 marriage proposal lines. Yay! If you have an Egyptian girlfriend and one day you decide that this is the woman of your life and you want to spend the rest of your life with her, maybe this video is for you. Let's get started. تتجوزيني? Will you marry me? The very first phrase you should probably learn if you are planning to propose to your Egyptian girlfriend is تتجوزيني? Will you marry me? تتجوزيني? Like usually in a very soft voice. تقبلي تكوني مراتي? Will you do me the honor of becoming my wife? Maybe you want to be more innovative and show her that you know more Arabic, so probably you want to use this sentence. تقبلي تكوني مراتي? تقبلي تكوني مراتي? Will you do me the honor of becoming my wife? The other way, if you want to ask someone to be your husband, if you have an Egyptian boyfriend, you would want to say تقبل تكون جوزي? تقبل تكون جوزي? Would you give me the honor of being my husband? ممكن تخليني أسعد راجل في الدنيا? Will you make me the happiest man alive? Maybe you want to be more romantic, so probably you will want to use this sentence. ممكن تخليني أسعد راجل في الدنيا? Will you make me the happiest man alive? You can also say أسعد إنسان, the happiest human being. في الدنيا. الدنيا means in life or in the whole world, in everything. So you would say ممكن تخليني أسعد إنسان في الدنيا. If you want to say that to your Egyptian boyfriend, you will probably want to say ممكن تخليني أسعد إنسانة في الدنيا. ممكن تخليني أسعد إنسانة في الدنيا. إنسانة means a human being, but like for a female. So will you make me the happiest human being alive? Usually you don't say أسعد ست. It's kind of weird. أنتي اللي كنت مستنيها طول حياتي. You're the one I've been waiting for my whole life. أنتي اللي كنت مستنيها طول حياتي. أنتي اللي كنت أنا مستنيها طول حياتي. You're the one I've been waiting for my whole life. Be careful because it's a little difficult to say. أنتي اللي كنت مستنيها as in me as a male طول حياتي. But if a girl wants to say that to a guy, she would say أنت اللي كنت مستنياه طول حياتي. Oh, so romantic. I wanna cry. عايزة أكون معاكي طول العمر. I want to be with you forever. And the next phrase is عايزة أكون معاكي طول العمر. I wanna be with you forever. And if a female wants to say that to a male, she would say عايزة أكون معاك طول العمر. عايزة أكون معاك طول العمر. I wanna be with you forever. Very beautiful. ما تيجي نقضي بقية حياتنا مع بعض. Let's spend the rest of our lives together. The next sentence, if you wanna be as serious, but maybe say it in a more carefree or fun way, very colloquial and very like friendly like. So you would say ما تيجي نقضي بقية حياتنا مع بعض. Let's spend the rest of our lives together. ما تيجي, make it less serious or less severe and more light and warm-hearted or like a very carefree or very friendly. It's a very nice way to say it. مش متخيل حياتي من غيرك. I cannot imagine my life without you in it. This one is for the like dramatic lovers. مش متخيل حياتي من غيرك. I cannot imagine my life without you in it. To be honest, some people also use this in a very bad breakup. So they would say, I cannot imagine my life without you. So مش قادرة أتخيل حياتي من غيرك. For a male, he would say, مش متخيل حياتي من غيرك. Or مش قادرة أتخيل حياتي من غيرك. And for a female, she would say, مش قادرة أتخيل حياتي من غيرك. Yeah, very dramatic. Very dramatic. نفسي أديكي كل حاجة, لكن أتمنى الدبلة دي تكون كفاية. I wish I could give you everything, but I hope this ring is enough. This one is very movie-like. Basically, it says, نفسي أديكي كل حاجة, لكن أتمنى الدبلة دي تكون كفاية. I wish I could give you everything, but I hope that this ring is enough. Actually, parents as well use this phrase a lot with their children. If the child wants something and they cannot afford it, they would say, نفسي أديك كل حاجة, بس, لكن, but, something, and then they would say an excuse. That's a very nice phrase if you want to use it later for your parenting skills. But for now, you can use this as a proposal way. So, نفسي أديك كل حاجة, I wish I could give you everything. But, لكن, بس also means but. أتمنى الدبلة دي تكون كفاية. دبلة is only like for the engagement part, but usually the woman, the lady, she would receive الشبكة. الشبكة is probably what you would give during the wedding, which is a whole set of accessories. حاسس إن أنا وإنتي اتخلقنا لبعض. I feel like you and I were truly meant to be together. This one is usually most likely used for a pickup line, not really a proposal line, but you can use it if you want to be extra romantic. حاسس إن أنا وإنتي اتخلقنا لبعض. It means I feel like you and I are truly meant to be together. So very romantic, very poetic-like. اتخلق means to be created. So we were created for each other. We were meant to be together. And so on. Don't be well. Anyway, yeah. You should use it if you want to be extra romantic, or as a pickup line. It doesn't work, but so cheesy, really cheesy. Oh, the next one is even more cheesier. Okay. قبل ما أقابلك ما كنتش حاسس قد إيه حياتي فاضية. Before I met you, I never realized how empty my life was. The next one is also very romantic, kind of dramatic, a little cheesy. قبل ما أقابلك ما كنتش حاسس قد إيه حياتي فاضية. Before I meet you, I never realized how empty my life was. Okay. Dude, you really need to have a life. You know? Only boring people are bored. You should be really in a committed relationship to use this one because it's way too cheesy. So you should be careful with it. Don't call your life empty unless you really mean it. So be careful. All in all, in general, Arabic is a very romantic language, and Arabs, especially Egyptians, are always used to listening to romantic music and watching romantic movies. So if you use any of these sentences, even though you feel it's a little cheesy or maybe too much, don't be afraid to use it because lots of people actually are very used to hearing it We always call each other Habibi, as in my love, even if it's platonic, because Arabs really like romantic things. That's it for today. Why don't you comment below about your favorite romantic phrase? Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and visit our website, arabicpod101.com. Bye-bye.
Want to speak real Arabic from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at arabicpod101.com. You are at a bus terminal where you're heading to the police office to retrieve a lost passport. According to a postcard you received from the police office, what are the things that you need to provide to the police? What are the things that you need to provide to the police? The postcard says that you need to present proof of identification and to pay a small fee.
إثبات شخصية. رسم رمزي.
أعزائي المشاهدين، أهلا بكم. أنا بريهان. تعالوا نتكلم في الحلقة دي عن حدث ثقافي مهم بيحصل في مصر كل سنة، وهو معرض القاهرة الدولي للكتاب. معرض الكتاب يقام كل سنة في أجازة نص السنة. ناس كتير قوي بتزور معرض الكتاب، حوالي 2 مليون زائر كل سنة. في الدرس ده هنعرف معلومات أكتر عن معرض الكتاب وتاريخه في مصر. تفتكروا مين اللي كان ليه الفضل في الإشراف على إقامة أول معرض كتاب؟ هنوريكم الحل في نهاية الفيديو دون. معرض القاهرة الدولي للكتاب من أكبر معارض الكتاب في الشرق الأوسط. أول مرة أقيم المعرض ده كان في سنة 1969. في الوقت ده كانت القاهرة بتحتفل بعيدها الألفي، فقرر وزير الثقافة في الوقت دون إنه يحتفل بعيد القاهرة عن طريق إقامة أول معرض كتاب. زي ما قلنا قبل كده إن معرض الكتاب بيقام في أجازة نص السنة في نهاية شهر يناير، وفي الغالب بيكون يوم الأربعاء. مدة المعرض بتكون حوالي 12 يوم، وساعات بيمدوا 3 أيام، وده علشان إقبال الناس عليه، يعني بيكون حوالي أسبوعين. أول يوم بيكون الافتتاح الرسمي، تاني يوم بيكون للناشرين، وبعد كده بيكون للزوار. معرض الكتاب يعتبر أكبر ملتقى ثقافي في الشرق الأوسط، بيشارك فيه ناشرين من مختلف الدول العربية وكمان الأجنبية. بيقام فيه كتير من الندوات الثقافية. مش بس كده، لأ، كمان بيتعمل فيه عروض سينما ومسرح وفنون تشكيلية وكمان فنون موسيقية. تعرفوا؟ سنة 2006 معرض القاهرة الدولي للكتاب كان تاني أكبر معرض في العالم بعد فرانكفورت للكتاب. بما إن معرض الكتاب بيكون في أجازة نص السنة، زواره مش بس بيكونوا كبار ومثقفين، لأ، بيعتبر فسحة جميلة لكل أفراد الأسرة، حتى الأطفال اللي بيلاقوا فيه لعب جميلة بتناسب سنهم وبتنمي عقليتهم. ودلوقتي نشوف مع بعض حل السؤال اللي سألنا من شوية. تفتكروا مين اللي كان ليه الفضل في الإشراف على إقامة أول معرض للكتاب؟ الفضل في الإشراف على إقامة أول معرض للكتاب في القاهرة يرجع للكاتبة والباحثة الدكتورة سهير القلماوي، اللي كانت أول فتاة تلتحق بجامعة فؤاد الأول اللي هي جامعة القاهرة حالياً. كانت أول امرأة مصرية تحصل على دكتوراه في الأدب، وعشان كده في دورة 2008 احتفلوا بالقلماوي كشخصية العام. إيه رأيكم في درس النهاردة؟ هل اتعلمتوا شيء جديد ومثير للاهتمام؟ يلا وانتوا كمان ابعتوا قولوا لنا هل في عيد قراءة في بلادكم؟ نرحب بتعليقاتكم على arabicpod101.com. أشوفكم الحلقة الجاية.
Hi everyone, this is Nora from arabicpod101.com. Welcome to Ask a Teacher, where I'll be answering some of your most common Arabic questions. The question for this lesson is, what are some common expressions used in street signs in the Arab world? How cool is it that instructional signs are almost identical in just about every Arabic-speaking country? No matter what dialect the country speaks, instructional signs are always in Modern Standard Arabic. Let's take a look at the most common instructional signs. First, we have signs that you'll typically see in a parking lot. خروج. exit, دخول, entrance, garage or موقف, parking. Next we have signs you will typically see on the road. قف, stop. اتجاه إجباري, must turn left or right. إلزم اليمين, keep right. إلزم اليسار, keep left. الأولوية لك, you have priority. هدئ السرعة, slow down. انتبه, watch out or attention. The last two signs, هدئ السرعة and انتبه, are usually seen before sudden bumps, construction work, and dangerous curves. Kilometre, kilometers. Mètre, meters. These two are the shortened versions of kilomètre and mètre respectively, just like km for kilometer and m for meter in English. They're usually shortened to fit on street signs. They're used in many signs like the ones that tell you where you are on the highway. For example, if you're 200 kilometers away from Alexandria on the Cairo to Alexandria highway, somewhere on the way you will see a sign that says 200 kilomètres, 200 kilometers. Tonne, tons. This one is mainly for truck weight allowances. The number you will see next to tonne is the maximum weight allowance on this road in tonne. Lastly, we have two of the main reasons why people get tickets on the streets of Egypt. ممنوع الدخول, no entry, commonly used for one-way streets. ممنوع الانتظار, no parking, commonly found in front of exits, entrances, and around important buildings. Driving in the Middle East might feel intimidating at first, but as long as you follow the rules and stay attentive to your surroundings, you'll be okay. If you have any more questions, please leave a comment below, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.
To master a new language and understand everything as soon as you hear it, to read with just a quick glance and speak smoothly without thinking, you need to review. Here are our top 5 review tactics. Number 1, listen to examples over and over again. By listening closely and often, you start to pick up the rhythm of a language, as well as correct pronunciation from a native speaker. Use our line-by-line feature that lets you both listen and read along. Use this tool to practice as much as possible. Number 2, use our voice recording tool to master perfect pronunciation. Record yourself and compare it against the native speaker. If you sound different, then repeat after the native speaker until you're able to match them. Use our voice recording feature, which makes recording super easy. Number 3, master your recorded conversations. Record conversations and go over them again and again. Master entire conversations and repeat them line by line. Use any of the dialogues available for download on our website. These come with transcripts of the entire conversation. Number 4, use mobile devices to reinforce previously learned conversations. Constant review is the best way to progress in your language studies. Download the recorded dialogue to your mobile device and incorporate it into your music playlist. Quick reviews throughout the day effectively reinforce what you've learned. Number 5, read with line-by-line notes. Read along with a native speaker to really master pronunciation and natural intonation. You should start slow at first, then slowly increase your speed. Your pronunciation will become more natural. You will also see that your ability to understand fluent speakers will greatly increase. You'll be able to improve your communication skills using these 5 simple review techniques. Increase your understanding of your target language. And remember, if you're interested in getting all these review tools, sign up for your free lifetime account. No credit card required, and you'll get the best free online resources. And start reviewing more every day.
You just got off a bus at the closest stop to your friend's new house. where he's invited you to a party. Which direction should you head to get to your friend's new house? Which direction should you head to get to your friend's new house? Although the East Road would have normally been the closest road, it's currently under construction, so you should take the South Road instead.
خذ الطريق الجنوبي.
Hi everyone, I am Pirhan and this is Arabic Top Words. Today we're going to learn about the must-know expressions for agreeing and disagreeing. So let's get started. معك كل الحق. I couldn't agree with you more. معك كل الحق. I couldn't agree with you more. In the Arabic version, literally it says you have all the right. This is for agreeing, but for disagreeing you can say لا ما عندكش حق. لا ما عندكش حق. No, you're not right. أنا مش متأكدة. I'm not sure. أنا مش متأكدة. I'm not sure. And also you can use ما ظنش. ما ظنش. I don't think so. طبعا. Of course. طبعا. Of course. You can also say أكيد. أكيد. Indeed. ميتهيألي كده. I guess so. ميتهيألي كده. I guess so. I'm not so sure, but I guess it's this way. ميتهيألي. You can drop the كده, you can put it متهيألي or متهيألي كده. كنت لسه هقول كده. I was just going to say that. كنت لسه هقول كده. I was about to say that. You can also say كانت على طرف لساني. كانت على طرف لساني. It was on the tip of my tongue. It was on the tip of my tongue. Right here. أنت غلطان. You're wrong. أنت غلطان. You're wrong. أنت غلطان مش كده. You're wrong. It was not like that. مش كده also could mean improbable or inappropriate. So you say مش كده. مش كده. This is inappropriate. ممكن. Maybe. ممكن. Maybe. You can say ممكن متهيألي كده. Maybe I guess so. أنا مش موافق. I don't agree. أنا مش موافقة. I don't agree. Or أنا مش موافقة معاك. أنا مش موافقة معاك. I don't agree with you. موافق. I agree. موافقة. I agree. You can say تمام موافقة. Yes indeed I agree. Or أيوة موافقة. أيوة موافقة. Yes I agree. Most of them are in the female form. For guys they would say موافق. أيوة موافق. صح. That's true. صح. That's true. And the opposite is غلط. غلط. It's wrong. So you can say أيوة صح. تمام صح. Yes, it's right. Yes, it's true. For example, if someone says it's going to rain today, شكلها هتمطر النهاردة. It looks like it's going to rain today. And you're not so sure, so you can say متهيألي كده. It means I guess so. Or you can say ممكن. Maybe. Or you can say لا أنت غلطان. No, you're wrong. I checked the weather forecast, for example. شفت النشرة الجوية قبل ما أنزل. Or something like that. Egyptians don't really like being so straightforward, just like maybe anyone else. They don't really like being straightforward, so maybe you will not hear people saying أنت غلطان, you're wrong, or no, لأ. For example, if they disagree with you, they will not say أنا مش موافق, unless it's like very sensitive or something. Usually people, instead of saying أنا مش موافق, they will say ممكن, maybe, بس, but, something, something, something. So they can, instead of saying لا أنا مش موافق, no I don't agree, they might say أيوة معك حق, yes you're right, بس, but, and they will go on explaining something else. That probably means they don't agree with you. Okay, so that's it for today. I hope you liked the lesson. Why don't you tell us in the comments below about your favorite expressions of disagreeing and agreeing. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and visit our website, arabicpod101.com. Bye-bye.
Hi guys, this is Nora from arabicpod101.com. Welcome to Ask a Teacher, where I'll be answering some of your most common Arabic questions. The question for this lesson is, how come Arabic doesn't have verb to be? If I were to introduce myself in Arabic, I would say, Ismi Nura. Ismi Nura. If we translate this literally, it would be something like, name my Nora. Have you noticed that the verb to be isn't in the sentence? In this lesson, we will see how the Arabic sentence structure allows sentences to form without needing the verb to be. We'll see what a noun plus adjective sentence looks like in Arabic. Let's see how to say your nationality in Arabic first. أنا أمريكي. I am American. أنا فرنسي. I am French. أنا مكسيكي. I am Mexican. أنا تركي. I am Turkish. أنا أسباني. I am Spanish. أنا كندي. I am Canadian. For a female, you would add an إيه sound to the end of the nationality. So, أمريكي would become أمريكية, and so on. Now let's see some other commonly used sentences that contain the verb to be in English, but not in Arabic. السماء صافية. The sky is clear. الجو بارد. The weather is cold. البيت كبير. The house is big. أنا جائع. I am hungry. الطريق طويل. The road is long. الأكل لذيذ. The food is delicious. You must be wondering, what about the past tense? The auxiliary verb كان and its variations are the closest thing to the past tense verb to be in English. For example, كان الأكل لذيذا. The food was good. Note how the past tense verb to be كان in Arabic comes in the beginning of the sentence, unlike in English. You can learn more about this subject by checking out Lesson 8 of our intermediate series on ArabicPod101.com. If you have any more questions, please leave a comment below and I will see you in the next episode. Salam.
Hi everyone, my name is Perihan and this is Arabic Top Words. Today's topic is Top 10 Phrases to Survive at the Station. So, let's get started. عايز أروح. I'd like to go to. عايز أروح somewhere. عاوز أروح I would like to go to somewhere. For example, عاوز أروح ميدان التحرير. I would like to go to the Tahrir Square. For example, you can also say من فضلك ممكن تقولي إزاي أروح ميدان التحرير؟ من فضلك, which means if you may, would you please? ممكن تقولي إزاي? Can you tell me how? ممكن تقولي إزاي أروح ميدان التحرير? Can you tell me how to go to Tahrir Square? So that's another way to say I would like to go to somewhere. Another way to say it, سكة ميدان التحرير منين? سكة means the way or how to go. What's the way to the Tahrir Square? What's the way to Tahrir Square? So you have 3 ways to say I want to go somewhere. ده الرصيف الصح لي. Is this the right platform for? ده الرصيف الصح لي. Is this the right platform for? For example, ده الرصيف الصح للدقي. Is this the right platform for الدقي? You can also say هو من هنا أقدر أروح للدقي. Can I go to دقي from here, from this platform? آخر قطر بيجي إمتى? What time is the last train? The next one is, and probably that's the most important, آخر قطر بيجي إمتى? What time is the last train? In Egypt, most of the time we use the word metro for the subway, for the underground, and قطر you would use it for the train that's going through several prefectures. So you can say آخر مترو بيجي الساعة كام? What time is the last metro? أغير الخط اللي منين? Where do I change for? أغير الخط اللي منين. أغير الخط لي somewhere منين. Where do I change for somewhere. For example, أغير الخط لمحطة الأهرام منين. Where do I change for الأهرام station. In Egypt there's only 3 lines now. Shobra line, Giza line, and الأهرام line. So it's very unlikely that you will get lost. But if you don't change in a certain station, it will be very difficult for you to go back and retake the train. So make sure to memorize this. أغير الخط اللي منين. أغير الخط اللي منين. محطة القطر فين. Where is the train station. محطة القطر فين. Where is the train station. And if you're looking for the metro station, you would say محطة المترو فين. Some people use محطة المترو منين instead of فين. فين indicates where, and منين is which way. أشتري تذكرة منين. Where can I buy a ticket? If you are not a student, you most likely want to buy a ticket for the train or for the metro. So you will want to ask أشتري التذكرة منين. Where can I buy a ticket? In Egypt, usually one ticket is for £2 now, currently. I don't know, because like by April next year, it's going to be £4. So in my times, it was only £1, which was last year. I think it's £2. And usually you can buy it from the ticket office. Nowadays in Egypt, most people do not buy a ticket. They buy a card, a metro card, in which you can charge and reuse several times. But if you're a tourist and you don't need the card to travel a lot with it, probably you will want to use a ticket. So this phrase, أشتري التذكرة منين, is quite helpful for you. التذكرة لي بكام. How much is it to. التذكرة لي بكام. How much is it to somewhere. For example, if I want to say how much is the ticket for Alexandria, I would say التذكرة لإسكندرية بكام. I think all the prices I know are very outdated, because after I left there was an inflation. Maybe it's like double the price now, but in my days, one train ticket to Alexandria, only one way, would cost about £40. £40, maybe £50 if you want to get a better class. Although the economic class is quite nice, it's quite comfy. Okay. الأتوبيس ده بيروح. Does this bus go to. الأتوبيس ده بيروح مكان. Does this bus go to somewhere. For example, الأتوبيس ده بيروح العتبة. الأتوبيس ده بيروح العتبة. Does this bus go to the عتبة, to downtown. A smaller version of the bus is called the microbus, and usually you'll find them all over Egypt. They just take about 9 to 10 people, and it goes to the very local districts of Egypt in which the bus cannot really get into. So you can say الأتوبيس ده رايح العتبة. الأتوبيس ده رايح العتبة. Does this autobus or minibus, is it going to العتبة or downtown? فين محطة الأتوبيس. Where's the bus stop. فين محطة الأتوبيس. That's probably the most difficult question, because they're not really out there. The next sentence is فين محطة الأتوبيس. Where is the bus station. In Egypt, sometimes it gets very difficult to know where is a bus station, because it doesn't have any signs or labels. So usually it's very concealed. So you should always ask, where is the bus station. فين محطة الباص. فين محطة الأتوبيس. فين محطة المترو. الأتوبيس الجاي الساعة كام. What time is the next bus. الأتوبيس الجاي الساعة كام. What time is the next bus. الأتوبيس الجاي means the next bus, the coming bus. الساعة كام means what time. So for example, you can also say المترو الجاي الساعة كام. What time is the next metro. Or القطر الجاي الساعة كام. What time is the next train. That's it for today. Why don't you tell us below about your ways of surviving the station. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and visit our website arabicpod101.com. Bye bye.
Hi guys, this is Nora from arabicpod101.com. Welcome to Ask a Teacher, where I will answer some of your most common Arabic questions. The question for this lesson is, where are the personal pronouns in Arabic? In one of the previous lessons, we've already discussed what the sentence structure is like in Modern Standard Arabic. In this lesson, we will show you what Arabic personal pronouns look like independently. In English, subject personal pronouns precede verbs, like in this sentence, I ate the cake. In Arabic, it's possible to use the independent personal pronoun أنا, meaning I, before the verb. For example, I ate the cake can be translated as أنا أكلت الكعك. However, it's common to omit أنا because it's already included as the suffix to in the verb أكلت. So the sentence could look like this. أكلت الكعك. For beginners, it might seem like there is no indication as to who the subject is, but in fact, the subject is included inside the verb itself. So the addition of an independent personal pronoun is a bit redundant. Nevertheless, it's important to know them, so let's take a look at independent personal pronouns in Modern Standard Arabic. أنا, I. أنت, you. أنتِ, you for feminine. أنتما, you for dual feminine and masculine. أنتم, you for plural masculine. أنتن, you for plural feminine. هو, he. هي, she. هما, they for dual feminine and masculine. هم, they for plural masculine. هن, they for plural feminine. These are used when it's necessary to stress who or what the subject is, as in the case for compound sentences and long sentences with many subjects and events. They're also a must with nominal descriptive sentences. This is because for adjectives, conjugation affixes can't give complete information about a subject, like whether it's in the first, second, or third person. Let's observe the following sentences. هم أمريكيون. They are American. We're talking about a group of American males in the third person, so we use the pronoun هم. Another example is هي متعبة. She is tired. Here we're talking about a female in the third person, so we use the pronoun هي. I hope you like our lesson. If you have any more questions, please leave a comment below, and I will see you in the next episode. Salam.
Hi everyone, my name is Ferihan and this is what are your top 10 language learning goals for the year? Yes. هخلص السرفايفل phrases على موقع arabicpod101.com بإني أسمع درسين في اليوم. I'll finish survival phrases series on arabicpod101.com by listening to 2 lessons a day. The first language learning goal is أخلص السرفايفل phrases على موقع arabicpod101.com بإني أسمع درسين في اليوم. I'll finish survival phrases series on arabicpod101.com by listening to 2 lessons a day. You can do it. Just do it. Yesterday you said tomorrow. Just do it. Make it 3 lessons a day. Come on حبيبي يلا. هخلص قراية كتاب عربي بإني أقرأ 10 صفحات في اليوم. I'll finish reading 1 Arabic book by reading 10 pages a day. هخلص قراية كتاب عربي بإني أقرأ 10 صفحات كل يوم. I'll finish reading 1 Arabic book by reading 10 pages a day. Just try to find like your favorite book so you can like always have a motivation to finish it. هكتب مذكراتي اليومية بالعربي لمدة أسبوع. I'll write my diary in Arabic for 1 week. هكتب مذكراتي اليومية بالعربي لمدة أسبوع. هكتب مذكراتي اليومية بالعربي لمدة أسبوع. I'll write my diary in Arabic for a week. I usually don't do this, but one way you can practice learning Arabic every day by writing memos and notes, like where you put it on the fridge or in front of you on the desk. If you write it in Arabic, that would be a very good practice. هفهم فيلم عربي بالكامل بإني أتفرج عليه كل يوم. I'll fully understand 1 Arabic movie by watching it every day. هفهم فيلم عربي كامل بإني أتفرج عليه كل يوم. هفهم فيلم عربي كامل بإني أتفرج عليه كل يوم. I'll fully understand 1 Arabic movie by watching it every day. And this one actually works because I do it a lot myself. Like if you just watch 1 movie with subtitles and then you watch it again the next day without subtitles, you'll manage to see what you caught, like what you understood and what you did not understand, and you'll manage to catch some phrases and vocabulary. So when you watch it like the 3rd or the 4th day with subtitles as well, like when you go back to watching it with subtitles, you'll find out what you actually managed to remember and what you haven't, and then you can actually learn a lot. هتكلم عن نفسي لمدة 3 دقايق بالعربي مع أصحابي المصريين. I'll give a 3-minute introductory speech in Arabic to my Egyptian friends. هتكلم عن نفسي لمدة 3 دقايق بالعربي مع صحابي المصريين. I'll give a 3-minute introductory speech in Arabic to my Egyptian friends. 3 minutes isn't too long for 3 minutes. What do you say in 3 minutes? Hello, my name is Perihan. I'm studying and I like this and my hobbies is that. Yeah, that sounds like 3 minutes. هحفظ 5 أغاني عربي. I'll memorize 5 Arabic songs. هحفظ 5 أغاني عربي. هحفظ 5 أغاني عربي. I'll memorize 5 Arabic songs. And that's like, guys, that's like my advice. Like, hands down, this is the best thing. I actually do this as well. Like, I love memorizing songs because it's so easy. Like, inside the song, there are so many vocabularies you don't know. And by memorizing one song, like, not only you're enjoying it, like, you're enjoying the rhythm and so on, you're also memorizing, like, tons of words without any effort. So, like, this is the best thing you can do, is to memorize songs. So, احفظ أغاني عربي. هحفظ 350 كلمة من الكروت التعليمية على موقع arabicpod101.com. I'll finish memorizing 350 words with flashcards on arabicpod101.com. هحفظ 350 كلمة من الكروت التعليمية على موقع arabicpod101.com. I'll finish memorizing 350 words with the flashcards on arabicpod101.com. I don't know, I like listening to music and memorizing songs more than flashcards, but flashcards also are okay if you're into it. هكتب 10 بطاقات بريدية بالعربي لأصدقائي المصريين. I'll write 10 postcards in Arabic to my Egyptian friends. هكتب 10 بطاقات بريدية بالعربي لأصدقائي المصريين. هكتب 10 بطاقات بريدية بالعربي لأصدقائي المصريين. I'll write 10 postcards in Arabic to my Egyptian friends. I don't know, like 30 years ago, like when my mom was like in high school, she used to receive lots of postcards from her friends, but not now, I think. They will be quite happy to receive anything. هتعلم إزاي أتكلم عن أحداث الماضي والحاضر والمستقبل. I'll learn how to talk about past, present, and future events. هتعلم إزاي أتكلم عن أحداث الماضي والحاضر والمستقبل. I'll learn how to talk about past, present, and future events. That would be really nice to improve your storytelling skills and so on. هتقن 150 كلمة بإني أحفظ 5 كلمات في اليوم. I'll master 150 words by memorizing 5 words a day. هتقن 150 كلمة بإني أحفظ 5 كلمات في اليوم. I'll master 150 words by memorizing 5 words a day. That could be easy if you watch one of our videos and then you can master 5 words a day regarding one theme or one topic about transportation, weather, clothes, and so on. The end. I hope you liked today's lesson. Why don't you tell us below about your favorite way of learning Arabic? Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and visit our website arabicpod101.com. Bye bye. This is so encouraging. Like, I'm so encouraging. Like, what's wrong with me? Yes. At the end. The end. Oh my God, big surprise.
Want to speed up your language learning? Get access to all of our best PDF cheat sheets for free. Just click the link in the description and sign up for your free lifetime account right now.
Top 10 phrases tourists should never use. Ever. Even within their brains. Like, you should never use. So, let's get started. القرف ده. That's disgusting. The first phrase you should never use is القرف ده. القرف ده. That's disgusting. القرف ده. Yeah, ew, القرف ده. For example, if you see someone spit in the street, القرف ده. القرف ده. That's disgusting. بلدي أحسن. My country's better. بلدي أحسن. بلدي أحسن. My country's better. I don't know why anyone shouldn't think of that. You should always be patriotic, but maybe not say it out loud. بلدي أحسن. بلدي أحسن. My country's better. So for example, if you see garbage all around the street, all over the street, you would say بلدي أحسن من كده. أحسن لي أرجع بلدي. I'd rather be back home. أحسن لي أرجع بلدي. أحسن لي أرجع بلدي. I'd rather be back home. maybe instead of feeling like you want to go back to your country, you would give it another chance to try to experience the new culture or the new food and try to have second thoughts about it. اخرس, shut up. Don't say this word. اخرس, اخرس, shut up. Or اسكت, اسكت, shut up as well. مش مهتمة قوي بثقافتكم. I'm not very interested in your culture. مش مهتمة قوي بثقافتكم. مش مهتمة قوي بثقافتكم. I'm not very interested in your culture. If you're not so interested, why are you there? مش بحب أقابل ناس جداد. I don't like meeting new people. مش بحب أقابل ناس جداد. مش بحب أقابل ناس جداد. I don't like meeting new people. You shouldn't say this, totally. Like you're going somewhere else to meet new people, so how come you don't like it? Even if you're an introvert, just take the traveling time you're spending outside, this temporary time, a way to just let yourself be opened up to the new culture and the new people and so on. So definitely don't say a phrase like مش بحب أقابل ناس جداد. I don't like meeting new people. خلينا ناكل في ماكدونالدز وخلاص. Let's just eat at McDonald's. خلينا ناكل في ماكدونالدز وخلاص. خلينا ناكل في ماكدونالدز وخلاص. Let's just eat at McDonald's. Always look for the local food. Always look for the local stores. Don't go to McDonald's. Just cheap and unhealthy. ممل, boring. ممل, ممل, boring. Or you can say الزهق ده, الملل ده. This is so boring. الملل ده. For example, you can say المكان ده ممل. This place is boring. Probably you shouldn't say this. This place is boring. Always try to find the new stuff. Always try to find the unique thing about the place you are in. And don't ever think it's boring. طعمه بشع. This tastes awful. طعمه بشع. طعمه بشع. This tastes awful. You can also say, ممكن برضو تقول القرف ده. القرف ده. That's disgusting. انتوا ناس مش متحضرين. You people are uncivilized. Next one is انتوا ناس مش متحضرين. انتوا ناس مش متحضرين. You people are uncivilized. So for example, if you travel to a country like Egypt and you see people eating with their hands, you might think it's uncivilized, but in Egypt it's quite normal. It's quite natural to eat the food with your hands. So you shouldn't say انتوا ناس مش متحضرين. You're not civilized. You people are not civilized, because to them it's a very natural way to eat food. 5 sentence patterns for beginners. So let's get started. اسمي. My name is. اسمي. اسمي. It means my name. For example, اسمي بريهان. اسمي بريهان. My name is Perihan. You can also say أنا بريهان. أنا بريهان. I am Perihan. أنا بحب. I like. أنا بحب. أنا بحب. I like. The verb بحب means love, but in Arabic we usually also use it as in like. So we don't really mean as in I love something. It's just we mean like I fancy this or I like this. So for example, you can say أنا بحب التفاح. أنا بحب التفاح. I like apples. أنا مش بحب. I don't like. And in the opposite of أنا بحب is أنا مش بحب. أنا مش بحب. I don't like. So here you should notice that مش means not or don't. So أنا مش بحب. I don't like. For example, أنا مش بحب الجري. أنا مش بحب الجري. I don't like running. Or for example, أنا مش بحب البرتقال. أنا مش بحب البرتقال. I don't like orange. أنا. I am. The next one is أنا. أنا, which means I am. For example, أنا تعبان. أنا تعبان. I am tired for a male, and أنا تعبانة. I am tired for a female. So just say أنا, I am, and put whatever you want afterwards. In Arabic, usually we don't say أنا so much. So we usually just say the adjective straight away without I am. So for example, تعبان, تعبان. That means I am tired. Or زهقان. I am so bored. زهقان. I am bored. Without I am. Usually you cannot do this in English, but you can do that with the other languages like Japanese and so on. So keep that in mind. أنا مش. I am not. أنا مش. أنا مش. As we said earlier, مش means not or don't. So this means I am not. For example, you can say أنا مش عيان. أنا مش عيان. I am not sick. Or for example, أنا مش زعلان. أنا مش زعلان. For a male, that means I'm not upset. And أنا مش زعلانة. For a female, I am not upset. And أنا مش عيان. For a male, it means I am not sick. And for a female, it's أنا مش عيانة. أنا مش عيانة. Also, in the negative sentence, you don't have to say أنا. You don't have to say I am. You can omit it. So you can say مش زعلان. مش تعبان. مش هروح. I am not going. Without saying أنا, and you will be perfectly understood. 10 phrases to use when you're angry. Okay, let's get started. I need to be very angry. Maybe we should have done this like before. I was like, ah. Okay, so I'm quite angry right now, so I'm gonna teach you 10 phrases you can use when you're very angry. So the first phrase is مالكش دعوة. That's none of your business. مالكش دعوة. مالكش دعوة. It's none of your business. مالكش means you don't have. مالكش. And دعوة means invitation. So it literally means no one invited you. It's none of your business. مالكش دعوة. And مالكيش دعوة. مالكيش دعوة if you want to say it to a female, because you know females gets into each other's business. So مالكيش دعوة. مالكيش دعوة بالحوار ده. It means this topic is none of your business. This discussion or this talk is none of your business. So if there is something happening near you and it doesn't look so good, your friend might tell you ملناش دعوة باللي بيحصل. ملناش دعوة باللي بيحصل. It means let's not get involved with what's happening. Let's stay away from this. So ملناش دعوة بالكلام ده. ملناش دعوة باللي بيحصل. And so on. اخرس. Shut up. اخرس. اخرس. It means to shut up. Shut up. اخرس for a male and اخرسي for a female. You can use something that's equally as threatening, such as ممكن تسكت شوية. ممكن تسكت شوية. Can you shut up for a while, or can you be quiet for a while? ممكن تسكتي شوية. ممكن تسكتي شوية. Can you shut up for a while, but for a female. ممكن تسكتي شوية. ممكن تقفلي بقك. No, don't use this unless you're really angry. سيبني في حالي. Leave me alone. The next one is when you want people to stay out of your business. سيبني في حالي. سيبني في حالي. Leave me alone. Or leave me to my own devices. سيبني في حالي. سيبيني في حالي for a female. سيبيني في حالي. سيبوني في حالي if you want to talk to a group of people. Just leave me alone. مش عايزة أسمع منكم كلام. I don't want to hear anything from you. سيبوني في حالي. سيبوني في حالي بقى. أنت بتهرج؟ Are you kidding me? أنت بتهرج؟ أنت بتهرج؟ Are you kidding me? Are you joking? أنت بتهزر؟ أنت بتهزر؟ Are you joking? Same meaning. Usually you just like, you're like that's unbelievable. Like, are you serious about this? أنت بتهزر؟ ده بجد الكلام ده؟ ده بجد الكلام ده؟ Are you being serious right now? أنت بتهزر؟ إيه اللي أنت بتقوله ده? What are you saying? Like, are you joking? You can also say أنت بتستهبل. أنت بتستهبل. Like, are you making a fool out of yourself? Are you fooling me? أنت بتستهبل عليا? Are you fooling me? So you can say أنت بتهزر وأنت بتستهبل معايا ولا إيه? Like, are you fooling with me or what? Like, what's wrong with you? Kind of thing. أي حاجة. Whatever. The next one is the teenager's favorite phrase. أي حاجة. أي حاجة. Whatever. Anything is fine. أي حاجة. أي means any and حاجة means thing. So it literally means anything. But like it has a meaning of whatever. Like I'm cool with anything. You can say it like neutral. Like أي حاجة. Okay. أي حاجة كويسة. Anything is good. Whatever is okay. But you can just say like أي حاجة. مش مهم. Like I don't care. Whatever. Like مش فارقة معايا. I don't mind either ways. I don't care. So whatever. أي حاجة. And like you have to do this. كفاية. Cut it out. كفاية. كفاية. It means enough or cut it out. Like كفاية. Stop. Sometimes the parents would use this a lot with their children. Like كفاية بقى. كفاية بقى. It means cut it out now. Like stop it. Like you should stop right there. كفاية بقى. ما تعملش كده. Don't do that. بطل الهبل ده. Stop this nonsense or stop this foolishness. مش عايزة أتكلم معاك. I don't want to talk to you. The next one is مش عايزة أتكلم معاك. مش عايزة أتكلم معاك. I don't want to talk to you. If you're talking to a female, you would say مش عايزة أتكلم معاكي. مش عايزة أتكلم معاكي. I don't want to talk to you. Usually you can also say مفيش بينا حوار. مفيش بينا حوار. There is no conversation between us. You can also say this in reference to a third party. So if we're talking, like if there's two friends talking and one friend, like a friend would ask you like, hey, what's up with this girl? And you would say مفيش بينا أي حوار. It means we don't really talk often. We don't talk with each other. مفيش بينا حوار. مش عايزة أتكلم معاها. I don't want to talk with her as a third party. في إيه تاني? What else? You can also say ما تتكلمش معايا. You can also say ما تتكلمش معايا. Don't talk with me. Don't talk to me. أنا متضايق. I'm upset. أنا متضايق. أنا متضايق. I'm upset. You can say أنا متضايق عشان أنت مش مخلي بالك مني. I'm upset because you're not taking care of me. Or أنا متضايق عشان أنت مش معايا. أنا متضايق عشان أنت مش معايا. I'm upset because you're not giving me attention. أنا متضايقة. النهاردة أنا متضايقة. Today I'm upset. متضايق زعلان طهقان. It also means I'm upset. زعلان means I'm sad. Also upset. طهقان means I've had enough. I'm fed up. متضايق means I'm upset. طهقان زهقان متضايق تعبان. I think that's enough. وبعدين so what? The next one is وبعدين. So what? وبعدين is kind of, it's a very bad way to end the conversation because it's like, so what? وبعدين. For example, if someone tells you أنا متضايق, I'm upset, and then if you really don't care, you can say وبعدين. So what can I do for you? أعمل لك إيه? What can I do for you? But like in a sarcastic way. أعمل لك إيه يعني? What can I do for you? وبعدين ها. It means also so what, like I cannot do nothing. وبعدين في الكلام ده أنت فاكر نفسك مين? Who do you think you are? أنت فاكر نفسك مين? Who do you think you are? That's like one of the most favorite sentences Egyptians use. أنت فاكر نفسك مين? Like you don't have any power over me, so who do you think you are? أنت فاكر نفسك مين? And on the other hand, some people like saying أنت ما تعرفش أنا مين? Don't you know who I am? Which is kind of very arrogant. 10 phrases to help you in an emergency. First, you need to know what the word emergency means. The word emergency in Arabic is طوارئ. And in case of emergency, في حالة الطوارئ. So you would need help in an emergency case. أنا محتاج مساعدة في حالة الطوارئ. I need help in an emergency case. أنا محتاج مساعدة في حالة الطوارئ. So let's get started. من فضلك اتصل بالبوليس. Call the police, please. The first phrase we have من فضلك اتصل بالبوليس. Call the police, please. You can also say من فضلك اتصل بالنجدة, which is the colloquial way of saying the police. نجدة. So in Egypt, for police, you can call 122, 122, or for the tourist police, if you're a foreigner, you can call 126, 126. عندك حرارة? Do you have a fever? عندك حرارة? Do you have a fever? You can also hear عندك سخونية? Do you have a fever? Usually the foreigners are not used to the heat in Egypt. It's very sunny, so they get a sunstroke. So don't forget to always apply a thick layer of sunscreen, hat, sunglasses is a must. Always have a parasol with you, because if you get a sunstroke, it's very difficult to recover. You're gonna be sick for at least 1 week. So please take care of yourself and try not to have a fever. مش لاقي الباسبور بتاعي. I cannot find my passport. The next one is مش لاقي الباسبور بتاعي. I cannot find my passport. We use the word passport for a passport, and if you really want the Arabic translation, it's جواز السفر. جواز means permit, and سفر means to travel, so it's a travel permit. So you can say مش لاقي جواز السفر, or جواز السفر ضاع. غالباً أكلت حاجة مش كويسة. I think I ate something bad. غالباً أكلت حاجة مش كويسة. غالباً أكلت حاجة مش كويسة. I think I ate something bad. That's when you're feeling like your stomach is upset, you're vomiting, or you have a fever, you have a stomachache. You can say أنا حاسس, I feel like إني أكلت حاجة مش كويسة. أنا حاسس إني أكلت حاجة مش كويسة. I feel like I've eaten something bad. Usually, Egyptian food is full of fat, it's full of butter. So if you're not used to it, maybe the first few days you will have a stomachache or your stomach will be a little upset. So you can use this sentence to express that you have a problem to the pharmacy or to a doctor. حاسس إني أكلت حاجة مش كويسة. أنا محتاج دكتور. I need a doctor. The next one is أنا محتاج دكتور. أنا محتاج دكتور. I need a doctor. You can also say محتاج أروح المستشفى. محتاج أروح المستشفى. I need to go to the hospital. Or اطلب لي الإسعاف. اطلب لي الإسعاف. Can you call an ambulance for me? اطلب لي الإسعاف. If you're in Cairo and you need an ambulance, please call 123. 123. أنا مش عارف طريق الرجوع للفندق. I cannot find the way back to my hotel. مش عارف طريق الرجوع للفندق. مش عارف طريق الرجوع للفندق. I cannot find my way back to the hotel. You can also say مش عارف أرجع للفندق. I cannot go back to the hotel. So if you need to stop someone to describe you the way, you can say أنا قاعد في فندق شيراتون. I'm staying at the Sheraton Hotel, for example. وأنا مش لاقي طريق الرجوع للفندق. مش لاقي طريق الرجوع للفندق. Or مش عارف أرجع للفندق. I cannot find my way back to the hotel. So ممكن تساعدني. ممكن تساعدني. Can you help me? في صيدلية قريبة. Is there a pharmacy nearby? The next one is في صيدلية قريبة. في صيدلية قريبة. Is there a pharmacy nearby? For a foreigner, you're very lucky because if you have a stomachache or you have a headache or you feel like you're very sick, you don't really have to go to the doctor or like you don't really have to reserve an appointment in Egypt because usually in every pharmacy there is a doctor there. He can give you an injection. He can prescribe you some medicine, or if you feel bad, all you have to do is to go to the nearest pharmacy and just describe what you have or how you feel, and they most likely are going to give you medicine. ممكن تساعدني? Can you help me? ممكن تساعدني? ممكن تساعدني? Can you help me? You can also say محتاج مساعدتك. I need your help. So if you're in a trouble and you can just ask some random person ممكن تساعدني؟ لو سمحت ممكن تساعدني؟ من فضلك اتصل بالمطافي. Call the fire department please. من فضلك اتصل بالمطافي. من فضلك اتصل بالمطافي. Call the fire department please. من فضلك اتصل بالمطافي. مطافي. Or اطلب المطافي. اطلب المطافي. If you need to call the firefighters in Egypt, you should call 180 180 180. مش قادر أقف. I can't stand up. مش قادر أقف. مش قادر أقف. I cannot stand up. If you feel like you're very physically sick, you can just say مش قادر أقف. Or مش قادر أقوم. I cannot get up. I cannot move my body. مش قادر أحرك جسمي. I cannot move my body. So these are all variations you can use, like if you feel physically tired. حاسس إن جسمي همدان. حاسس إن جسمي همدان. It means I feel like my body is very weak. حاسس إن جسمي همدان. Top 10 compliments you always want to hear. أنت وسيم. You're handsome. أنت جميلة. You're beautiful. أنت وسيم. أنت وسيم. You're handsome. And for a girl you can say أنت جميلة. أنت جميلة. You're beautiful. So أنت وسيم for a guy, for a male, and أنت جميلة for a female. أنت ذكي. You're smart. أنت ذكي. أنت ذكي. You're smart. And for a girl you can say أنت ذكية. أنت ذكية. أنت صديق حقيقي. You're a true friend. أنت صديق حقيقي. أنت صديق حقيقي. You're a true friend. أنت جميل من برا وأجمل من جوا. Your inside is even more beautiful than your outside. أنت جميل من برا وأجمل من جوا. أنت جميل من برا وأجمل من جوا. Your inside is more beautiful than your outside. السيرة الذاتية بتاعتك حلوة قوي. Your resume is very good. السيرة الذاتية بتاعتك حلوة قوي. السيرة الذاتية بتاعتك حلوة قوي. Your resume is very good. الجاكيت ده حلو عليك. That jacket looks nice on you. الجاكيت ده حلو عليك. الجاكيت ده حلو عليك. This jacket looks good on you. And for girls, maybe you will want to use الفستان ده شكله حلو عليكي. الفستان ده شكله حلو عليكي. This dress looks good on you. There's another expression in the Egyptian dialect. It's هياكل منك حتة. هياكل منك حتة. And for a male, probably you should not use it. I've never seen it, like heard it with a male. It will eat a part of you. So the dress or the jacket is so good, it's about to eat a part of you. That doesn't sound so flirty or good when I say it, like when I translate it. But if you would use this expression, people will be so amazed of your Egyptian skills, Egyptian dialect skills. ذوقك حلو. You have good taste. ذوقك حلو. ذوقك حلو. ذوقك حلو means you have a good taste, but at the same time, if you use the word يا ذوق, ذوق, it means that they have a good manner. So for example, if someone lets you pass or someone hands you something that fell from you, and you say شكرا يا ذوق, شكرا يا ذوق, thank you so much, you have nice manners or you have good manners. I would like to hear that. ابتسامتك جميلة. Your smile is beautiful. ابتسامتك جميلة. ابتسامتك جميلة. Your smile is very beautiful. You can also say ابتسامتك حلوة. ابتسامتك حلوة. Your smile is sweet. It's a somewhat common female name. ابتسام. ابتسام from smiling. Yeah, nice. My aunt's name is ابتسام. Yes, let's go to the next one. Oh, this is so nice. Okay. The next one is قلبك أبيض. You're so kind. قلبك أبيض. قلبك أبيض. You're so kind. But literally in the Arabic one, you say your heart is white. It means that you don't have anything, you don't have any grudge or bad feelings inside of you. So for example, in a fight, when someone is fighting and you try to calm them down and you say قلبك أبيض. قلبك أبيض. Your heart is white. So you're just making them, you're calming them down by telling them like your heart is so white, don't ruin it. مفيش منك اتنين. You're one of a kind. مفيش منك اتنين. You're one of a kind. مفيش منك اتنين in Arabic literally means there is no two of you. Well, it doesn't work with people with twins.
Hi guys, this is Nora from ArabicPod101.com. Welcome to Ask an Arabic Teacher. The question for this lesson is, what types of loanwords are there in Egyptian Arabic? I'd like to introduce you to my native dialect, which happens to be one of the most widely understood dialects of Arabic, Egyptian Arabic. Egyptian Arabic is the result of Egypt's diverse history. After all, Egypt is not only the land of the pharaohs. Egypt was part of many empires, like the Roman Empire and the Ottoman Empire, then was a French colony, then an English colony. There is no way a country can have such a history without being influenced by all of these different cultures and languages. First, here are some words that are used in Egypt on a daily basis that have English, French, Latin, or Italian origins. Décor. Décor. Régime. Diet. Mobilia. Furniture. Model. Model, usually used for cars. Dynamo. Dynamo. Motor. Motor. taxi, taxi, radio, radio, تلفزيون, television, تليفون, telephone, بلكونة, balcony, coiffeur, hairdresser, buffet, buffet, doctor, doctor or professor. Egyptian Arabic also borrowed a lot of words from Turkish. Let's take a look at some Turkish loanwords in Egyptian Arabic. Oda, room, dolab, closet, shanta, bag, gazma, shoes, kobri, bridge, afendim, sir, baltagi, thug. These loanwords came into Egyptian Arabic a long time ago, meaning that both young people and old people use these words. Most people don't even know that they're originally non-Arabic words. So next time you meet an Egyptian, tell them how much they have borrowed from your language.
أعزائي المشاهدين، أهلا بكم. أنا بريهان. في الدرس ده هنتكلم عن يوم ليه مكانة خاصة عند المسلمين، وهو يوم عرفة. اليوم ده بيوافق 9 من شهر ذو الحجة، وهو الشهر ال 12 في التقويم الإسلامي القمري. بيقف الحجاج يوم عرفة بجبل يطلق عليه عرفة أو عرفات، وهو مكان قريب من مكة المكرمة في السعودية. تفتكروا ليه اتسمى يوم عرفة بالاسم ده؟ هنوريكم الحل في نهاية الفيديو. شهر ذو الحجة هو الشهر اللي بيحج فيه المسلمين كل سنة للكعبة المشرفة اللي موجودة في مكة في المملكة العربية السعودية. من أهم مناسك الحج واللي من غيره ما بيكتملش الحج هو يوم عرفة أو الوقوف بجبل عرفة. الحجاج من كل أنحاء العالم بيقفوا عند الجبل دون يدعوا ربنا ويبتهلوا وبيطلبوا كل اللي بيتمنوه. عرفة هو أبعد المشاعر المقدسة من مكة، لأن الجبل بيبعد عنها 22 كيلومتر، وكمان هو خارج حدود الحرم. في اليوم ده بيعتقد المسلمين إن الله بيستجيب للدعوات وبيغفر الذنوب، عشان كده بيحرص كل غير الحجاج من المسلمين إن هم يصوموا اليوم ده، لأنه بيعتقد إنه بيغفر ذنوبهم السنة اللي قبلها والسنة اللي بعدها. شعائر اليوم ده بتبدأ بعد ما يصلي الحجاج صلاة الفجر في مكان اسمه مينا، بيبعد 7 كيلومتر عن مكة. بينتظروا شروق الشمس، بعدها بيبدأوا طريقهم لعرفة وهم بيرددوا أذكار وابتهالات وأدعية. بيقضي الحجاج النهار كله لحد غروب الشمس هناك، وبيتخلل اليوم ده خطبة بيلقيها إمام الحجاج وقت صلاة الظهر. بتحرص كل الأمهات في يوم عرفة إن هم يشتروا لأولادهم هدوم خروج وبيجامات جديدة قبل عيد الأضحى، وبيخلوهم يلبسوا البيجامات يوم عرفة في ليلة العيد عشان بتبقى فرصة يشرحوا لهم فضل اليوم ده وإيه. ودلوقتي نشوف مع بعض حل السؤال اللي سألناه من شوية. تفتكروا ليه اتسمى يوم عرفة بالاسم ده؟ كلمة عرفة مشتقة من التعارف. مفيش معلومة أكيدة عن سبب تسمية اليوم، إلا إن بعض الباحثين بيقولوا إن السبب إن الناس بتتعارف في اليوم دون. البعض التاني بيقول إن السبب إن آدم عليه السلام لما نزل الأرض أول مرة هو وحواء اتقابلوا في المكان ده، فعرفها وعرفته، وعشان كده اتسمى المكان بعرفة. إيه رأيكم في درس النهاردة؟ هل اتعلمتوا شيء جديد ومثير للاهتمام؟ وانتوا كمان يلا ابعتولنا قولولنا هل كان عندكم معلومات قبل كده عن اليوم ده؟ نرحب بتعليقاتكم على arabicpod101.com. أشوفكم الحلقة الجاية. شكلك حلو النهاردة. You look great today. You look great. Awesome. Like shining. عشان أعمل شات مع صحابي المصريين. To chat with my Egyptian friends. For example, you can say عايزة أتعلم عربي عشان أعمل شات مع صحابي المصريين. I want to learn Arabic to chat with my Egyptian friends. Egyptians are so friendly, they're so nice, but in the social media they usually use Franco-Arabic, which basically is the English alphabets mixed with letters. So if you want to learn Arabic specifically to chat with your friends, probably you should learn the Franco way of writing Arabic, which is probably way more easier than learning Arabic in the Arabic alphabets in the Arabic script. الواي-فاي ببلاش. الواي-فاي ببلاش. Is the Wi-Fi free? Or you can ask ممكن واي-فاي؟ ممكن واي-فاي؟ Can I have a Wi-Fi? أغير الخط اللي منين؟ أغير الخط لي somewhere منين؟ Where do I change for somewhere? For example, أغير الخط لمحطة الأهرام منين؟ Where do I change for Al Ahram station? In Egypt, there's only 3 lines now. Shobra line, Giza line, and Al Ahram line. So it's very unlikely that you will get lost. But if you don't change in a certain station, it will be very difficult for you to go back and retake the train. So make sure to memorize this. أغير الخط اللي منين. أغير الخط اللي منين. أنا مش. As we said earlier, مش means not or don't. So this means I am not. For example, you can say أنا مش عيان. I am not sick. Or for example, أنا مش زعلان. For a male, that means I'm not upset. And أنا مش زعلانة for a female, I am not upset. And أنا مش عيان for a male, it means I am not sick. And for a female, it's أنا مش عيانة. Also, in the negative sentence, you don't have to say أنا, you don't have to say I am, you can omit it. So you can say مش زعلان, مش تعبان, مش هروح, I am not going, without saying أنا, and you will be perfectly understood. مش عارف طريق الرجوع للفندق. I cannot find my way back to the hotel. You can also say مش عارف أرجع للفندق. I cannot go back to the hotel. So if you need to stop someone to describe you the way, you can say أنا قاعد في فندق شيراتون. I'm staying at the Sheraton Hotel, for example. وأنا مش لاقي طريق الرجوع للفندق. Or مش عارف أرجع للفندق. I cannot find my way back to the hotel. So ممكن تساعدني. Can you help me? المغني ده مشهور جدا. The singer is very popular. For example, عمرو دياب مشهور جدا. عمرو دياب is very popular. حبيبي يا نور العين يا شاغل. People might be amazed, or probably will be amazed at how good you speak Arabic. So probably they will ask you, اتعلمت عربي فين? Where did you learn Arabic? And here you should say, اتعلمت عربي مع arabicpod101.com. I learned Arabic with arabicpod101.com. Don't forget it. This one usually parents use a lot. محتاجين نتكلم. We need to talk. Or maybe before a breakup, you also use it. محتاجين نشوف ناس جديدة. We need to see other people. التونة من أشهر المعلبات. Tuna is one of the most famous canned food. شكراً, which means thank you. شكراً على الهدية. Thank you for the present. من الصبح وأنا عمالة أفكر في حل المشكلة دي. Since the morning, I've been thinking of a solution to this problem. The next word is probably a word you all know or get to know or learn when you first start Arabic. It's habibi, which means my love. We usually use it not only in a romantic way, but we also use it as a friendly or endearment kind of term. So you can say habibi to anyone. For example, okay habibi, ماشي حبيبي, إشتا حبيبي. حبيبي يا نور العين يا ساكن خيالي عايشق بقالي سنين. The opposite of it, لا, which means no. So one more. هل تريد قهوة? Do you want coffee? No, لا. And you can say شكراً, thank you. اديني قلم لو سمحت. Please give me a pen. يدي. أنا دايماً بستخدم sunblock قبل ما أخرج. I always use sunblock before I go out. Because it's too hot. It's too sunny. أنا آسف, which means I'm sorry. For example, you can say أنا آسف على التأخير. I'm sorry I am late. بحب أخرج أتمشى في الجنينة. Which means I like to go out for a walk in the park. وهو صغير كان بيسأل أسئلة كتيرة. When he was young, he used to ask lots of questions. عذراً, انتظر لحظة, which means excuse me, wait a moment. يدخل, to enter. خبط على الباب قبل ما تدخل لو سمحت. Please knock before you enter. So for example, if you're in a restaurant, you can do this simple hand sign, which is like this, and you say الحساب لو سمحت. الحساب لو سمحت. Could I have the check, please? النجدة, which means help. So for example, you can say لقد سرقت حقيبتي. My bag was stolen. النجدة, help. النمر بيجري بسرعة جدا. Tigers run very fast. Well, I'm wearing almost yellow, like أنا امبارح نمت متأخر قوي. Yesterday I slept very late. Sadly. Top 10 must-know vocabulary for the restaurant. Let's get started. Waiter, waiter. The first word is waiter, waiter. And in Egypt, sometimes we call it garçon or الصبي, الصبي. الصبي means the boy. For example, you can say هقول للويتر يجيب منديل. هقول للويتر يجيب منديل. I'll ask the waiter to get some napkins. سلطة, salad. سلطة, سلطة, salad. عايز سلطة, عايز سلطة. And usually, like, you know, when everything is chaotic, like when everything is so confusing and you don't know what's going on, you say like, is salata di? Is salata di? What kind of salad is that? Like everything is so messed up and you don't know what's going on. Just like a salad. Menu, 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 menu. For example, you can say, ممكن المنيو? ممكن المنيو? Can I have the menu? يطلب, to order. يطلب, يطلب, to order. هنطلب دلوقتي. هنطلب دلوقتي. We will order now. The next one is مية, water. مية, مية, water. For example, ممكن مية لو سمحت. ممكن مية لو سمحت. May I have some water, please? الحلو, dessert. الحلو, الحلو, dessert. For example, menu الحلو لو سمحت. menu الحلو لو سمحت. The dessert menu, please. Chef, 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 which means chef. For example, الشيف بتاع الفندق ده ممتاز. الشيف بتاع الفندق ده ممتاز. This hotel's chef is excellent. وجبات سريعة, fast food. وجبات سريعة, وجبات سريعة, fast food. For example, مش بحب الوجبات السريعة. مش بحب الوجبات السريعة. I don't like fast food. مطعم, restaurant. مطعم, مطعم, restaurant. For example, جربت المطعم ده قبل كده؟ جربت المطعم ده قبل كده؟ Did you try this restaurant before? فاتورة, bill. فاتورة, فاتورة, bill. For example, you can say عايز الفاتورة لو سمحت. عايز الفاتورة لو سمحت. I want the bill, please. Sometimes in Egypt, you can see or do this gesture to refer to the bill as well that you wanted. Top 10 ways to prepare your travel. The first sentence to prepare for your travel is تحديد مكان السفر. To choose your destination. تحديد مكان السفر. تحديد مكان السفر. To choose your destination. أول خطوة هي تحديد مكان السفر. أول خطوة هي تحديد مكان السفر. Which means the first step is to choose your destination. تشتري كتيب معلومات عن البلد. To buy a guidebook. تشتري كتيب معلومات عن البلد. تشتري كتيب معلومات عن البلد. To buy a guidebook. This is something I usually do. So you would learn or memorize the phrases you would need the most as soon as you get out of the airport in that new country. So for example, you can say هنحتاج نشتري كتيب معلومات عن البلد. هنحتاج نشتري كتيب معلومات عن البلد. We will need to buy a guidebook for the country. تحوش. To save money. تحوش. تحوش. To save money. So for example, you can say محتاجين نحوش عشان السفر. محتاجين نحوش عشان السفر. We need to save money for the travel. So I made my own, like a separate bank account where I can just put the money I want to save up from my work or from like a side work or something just to travel with it. تحجز تذاكر طيران. To book a flight. تحجز تذاكر طيران. تحجز تذاكر طيران. To book a flight. For example, you can say عايزين نحجز تذاكر الطيران. عايزين نحجز تذاكر الطيران. We need to book a flight. Basically, تذاكر means tickets. So if you want to say, I want to book some tickets for the concert, you would say محتاجين نحجز تذاكر الحفلة. تذاكر الطيران is a flight or a ticket flight, and تذاكر الحفلة is tickets for the concert. حجز مكان الإقامة. To book accommodations. حجز مكان الإقامة. حجز مكان الإقامة. To book accommodations. For example, you can say خلاص حجزت مكان الإقامة. خلاص حجزت مكان الإقامة. I've already booked the accommodations. For example, you can also say مكان الإقامة بتاعي هيبقى في الفندق. My accommodation is going to be in a hotel. Or you can say مكان الإقامة بتاعي عند صديقي. My accommodation place is going to be with my friend. تطلع رخصة سواقة دولية. To obtain an international driving license. Maybe you're a driver and you would like to drive around the city you're going to. So maybe you should learn this sentence. تطلع رخصة سواقة دولية. تطلع رخصة سواقة دولية. To obtain an international driving license. For example, you can say عايز أطلع رخصة سواقة دولية. عايز أطلع رخصة سواقة دولية. I want to obtain an international driving license. تجديد الباسبور. To renew your passport. تجديد الباسبور. تجديد الباسبور. To renew your passport. محتاج أجدد الباسبور. محتاج أجدد الباسبور. I need to renew my passport. I made it in 2014 and I need to renew it in 2021. تحضير الشنط. To pack up. تحضير الشنط. تحضير الشنط. To pack up. For example, أنا خلاص حضرت الشنط. I have packed up. If your bags are overweight, you can say شنطي فيها وزن زيادة فمحتاج أحضر الشنط تاني. My bags are overweight, therefore I have to repack my bags. تدفع تأمين السفر. To buy travel insurance. تدفع تأمين السفر. تدفع تأمين السفر. To buy travel insurance. For example, دفعت تأمين السفر. دفعت تأمين السفر. I have bought a travel insurance. The last one is تطلع تأشيرة. To get a visa. تطلع تأشيرة. تطلع تأشيرة. To get a visa. For example, طلعت التأشيرة. طلعت التأشيرة. I have got a visa. Top 10 words you need to know when having a baby. ترضع. To breastfeed. ترضع. ترضع. To breastfeed. Be careful because the word is not ترضع, it's ترضع. ضع. For example, you can say بترضع البيبي كل 3 ساعات. بترضع البيبي كل 3 ساعات. She breastfeeds the baby every 3 hours. يلبس بافتة. To put on a bib. يلبس بافتة. يلبس بافتة. To put on a bib. And in Egyptian Arabic, we usually use the word mariela, mariela, to refer to a bafetta, bafetta or mariela, whichever you like. For example, you can say لازم تلبس بافتة قبل ما تاكل. لازم تلبس بافتة قبل ما تاكل. She has to put on a bib before she eats. يغير هدوم. To change clothes. يغير هدوم. يغير هدوم. To change clothes. For example, you can say هغير له هدومه قبل ما نخرج. هغير له هدومه قبل ما نخرج. I will change his clothes before we go out. You can even use it for an adult. For example, I can say هدومي اتبلت فهغيرها. هدومي اتبلت فهغيرها. I'm gonna change my clothes because it's wet. يغني أغنية أطفال. To sing a lullaby. يغني أغنية أطفال. يغني أغنية أطفال. To sing a lullaby. For example, you can say هغني له أغنية أطفال. هغني له أغنية أطفال. I'll sing him a lullaby. Okay, I only know one sentence. It's يلا ننام يلا ننام وهذبح لك جوز الحمام. Or in Lebanese is يلا ننام يلا ننام وهذبح لك طير الحمام. It means like let's go to sleep, and if we go to sleep I will get you like a pair of, not get you but slaughter you a pair of pigeons. Because it's a very famous, like it's a delicious meal. So I'll get you a pair of pigeons to eat if you sleep. ينام الظهر. To have a nap. ينام الظهر. ينام الظهر. Or ينام الظهرية. ينام الظهرية. To have a nap. ظهر means afternoon and ينام means sleep. So to sleep in the afternoon is to have a nap. For example, you can say البيبيهات عادة بينام الظهر. البيبيهات عادة بينام الظهر. Babies usually have naps. يأكل البيبي. To feed the baby. يأكل البيبي. يأكل البيبي. To feed the baby. For example, you can say هأكل البيبي. هأكل البيبي. I'll feed the baby. يزق عربية الأطفال. To push a stroller. يزق عربية أطفال. يزق عربية الأطفال. To push a stroller. For example, you can say ممكن تزق عربية الأطفال. ممكن تزق عربية الأطفال. Would you please push the stroller? عربية means car and أطفال means babies or kids. So it's a baby car. ممكن تزق عربية الأطفال. يجهز ببرونة. To prepare a ball. يجهز ببرونة. يجهز ببرونة. To prepare a ball. For example, you can say هجهز الببرونة واجي تاني. هجهز الببرونة واجي تاني. I'll prepare a ball and come back. يحمي البيبي. To bathe the baby. يحمي البيبي. يحمي البيبي. to bathe the baby. To bathe the baby. For example, هدخل أحمي البيبي. هدخل أحمي البيبي. I'll go bathe the baby. يجهز أكل البيبي. To prepare baby food. يجهز أكل البيبي. يجهز أكل البيبي. To prepare baby food. And in Egyptian Arabic, we usually use the word سيريلاك to refer to baby food. So you can say قبل ما أنزل هجهز أكل البيبي. قبل ما أنزل هجهز أكل البيبي. Before I go out, I'll prepare the baby food. Or you can say قبل ما أنزل هجهز السيريلاك. قبل ما أنزل هجهز السيريلاك. Before I go out, I will prepare the سيريلاك or the baby food. Top 10 most common tourist vocabulary. So let's get started. تذكرة, ticket. تذكرة, تذكرة, ticket. For example, حجزت تذكرة لشرم. حجزت تذكرة لشرم. I've booked a ticket to Sharm. سياحة, tourism. سياحة, سياحة, tourism. أنا جاي مصر السياحة. أنا جاي مصر سياحة. I'm in Egypt for tourism. متحف, museum. متحف, متحف, museum. هنروح المتحف بكرة. هنروح المتحف بكرة. We're going to the museum tomorrow. أتوبيس, bus. أتوبيس, أتوبيس, bus. For example, الأتوبيس وصل. الأتوبيس وصل. The bus has arrived. Also in Egypt, you would hear the word ميكروباص a lot. ميكروباص, ميكروباص, which means a minibus. Or you can use, also you can hear, if you go to Alexandria, you might hear the word مشروع, مشروع. It literally means a project, but it also refers to a bus or a microbus. معبد, temple. معبد, معبد, temple. زرت معبد حتشبسوت. زرت معبد حتشبسوت. I have visited حتشبسوت's temple. حتشبسوت, حتشبسوت, قفلوا عليك يا حلوة تابوت. مسجد, mosque. مسجد, مسجد, mosque. مسجد محمد علي موجود جوه القلعة. مسجد محمد علي موجود جوه القلعة. محمد Ali's mosque is located inside the citadel. كنيسة, church. كنيسة, كنيسة, church. قابلني عند الكنيسة. قابلني عند الكنيسة. Meet me at the church. فندق, hotel. فندق, فندق, hotel. Or sometimes you will hear the word hotel. hotel. الفندق قدام الأهرامات. الفندق قدام الأهرامات. The hotel is in front of the pyramids. That's a very fancy and expensive hotel. جولة, tour. جولة, جولة, tour. And sometimes in Egypt you would hear لفة, لفة. It means to go around. So for example you can say هناخد جولة or هناخد لفة في المدينة الساعة 6. هناخد جولة في المدينة الساعة 6 or هناخد لفة في المدينة الساعة 6, which means we will take a city tour at 6 o'clock. مرشد سياحي, tour guide. مرشد سياحي, مرشد سياحي, tour guide. For example you can say أخويا مرشد سياحي. أخويا مرشد سياحي. My brother is a tour guide. 10 ways to motivate yourself when learning Arabic, or basically any language. So, let's get started. أتخيل إني في يوم من الأيام هزور مصر أو أعيش فيها. I imagine that one day I will visit or live in Egypt. أتخيل إني في يوم من الأيام هزور مصر أو أعيش فيها. I imagine that one day I'll visit or live in Egypt. Egypt is very rich in culture and food, and the people are very nice. It's also very rich in history. So you can use this as a motivation to learn Arabic and try to speak to as many people as possible to motivate yourself into learning Arabic more, and maybe you can reward yourself with a short vacation in Egypt or even a lifelong term staying there. أدرس الجوانب التانية من الثقافة وده هيخلي المذاكرة مجزية أكتر. I study other aspects of the culture which makes it more rewarding to study Arabic. أدرس الجوانب التانية من الثقافة وده هيخلي المذاكرة مجزية أكتر. I study other aspects of the culture which makes it more rewarding to study Arabic. So if you try to explore the food culture, the music culture, or the literature culture, it will make your study not only more interesting, but actually it will make it very easy for you to communicate with your Egyptian friends because you're going to build a common background or a common base. You can open or discuss topics with them. So definitely you should focus on other aspects of the culture to motivate you more into your Arabic study. بحب أدور على الكلمات الظريفة في العربي اللي بتعلمه. I like to find funny words in Arabic. بحب أدور على الكلمات الظريفة في العربي اللي بتعلمه. Which means I like to find funny words in Arabic. What kind of funny words in Arabic? Let me think of funny words in Arabic. My foreign friends really like this word, kaboria. Kaboria, which means crabs, like sea crabs. For example, there is a very local song in Egypt. It's called as kaboria, as kaboria, which means to eat a crab. We also use the word as for as lib, which means to eat seeds like sunflower seeds. That's very common in Egypt to eat it as snacks. So as kaboria, as lib. Yeah, that's a very funny word, I think. بتصاحب على الناس اللي بيتكلموا عربي. I make friends with people who speak Arabic. أتصاحب على الناس اللي بيتكلموا عربي. أتصاحب على الناس اللي بيتكلموا عربي. I make friends with people who speak Arabic. If you motivate yourself to learn the language so you can speak with the locals, it will make you feel less isolated and it will make you figure their or understand their culture more easily and efficiently if you use the language to communicate with them and ask them directly what to do, what not to do. So definitely that's a very important motivation to be able to speak with other the same language you're learning, native speakers. بتفرج على فيديوهات اليوتيوب لناس نجحوا في إنهم يتعلموا عربي. I watch YouTube videos of other people who successfully learned Arabic. بتفرج على فيديوهات اليوتيوب لناس نجحت في إنها تتعلم عربي. I watch YouTube videos of people who successfully learned Arabic. Lots of YouTube videos are out there for people who not only speak Arabic fluently, but they also compare Arabic to other languages. So if you're a native Spanish speaker or a Hebrew speaker, you will find it very funny and very interesting to watch, very motivational to watch people who speak or learned fluent Arabic comparing your own language to theirs. So you should definitely check out YouTube for more for people who fluently speak Arabic now. بنبسط لما استخدم العربي في إني أعمل order في المطاعم. I enjoy speaking Arabic when I order at Egyptian restaurants. بتبسط لما بستخدم العربي في إني أعمل order في المطاعم. I enjoy speaking Arabic when I order at the Egyptian restaurants. It's very encouraging for you and it's very interesting and delightful for us Arabic speakers to see when a foreigner can order for themselves and they can read the menu and so on. They also can call and make an order by phone. You should also notice that we use the word order as in the English word بعمل order to make an order. If you really want to use the Arabic word بعمل طلب, but usually it's not really used. We use the word order. So use the English word within your Arabic sentence. It's gonna make it more natural. بتفرج على أفلام وبرامج عربي وبتبسط إني فهمت كلمة أو جملة. I watch Arabic movies and TV shows and enjoy when I understand a word or a sentence. بتفرج على أفلام وبرامج عربي وبتبسط بإني فهمت كلمة أو جملة. I watch Arabic and TV shows and I enjoy when I can understand a word or a sentence. When you're watching a movie or listening to a song for the very first time and you can catch one phrase or one word you've memorized just a while ago, it has a very rewarding feeling. So I always try to watch movies or TV shows or listen to music when you're trying to learn a language. ببهر أصحابي المصريين لما أكلمهم عربي. I impress my Egyptian friends when I talk to them in Arabic. ببهر أصحابي المصريين لما بكلمهم عربي. I impress my Egyptian friends when I talk to them in Arabic. Arabic is one of the most difficult languages to speak or learn because of the different variations of dialects. However, when we see a foreigner trying to speak Arabic to us, we're very glad to hear that. And we also want to help them to be understood. And we're always very impressed to see them. So always be motivated to speak to your Arabic, to your Egyptian or Arabs friends in Arabic whenever you see them. Even one word would be more than enough. بحقق هدف إني أتعلم لغة جديدة كل 3 سنين. I achieve the target of learning a new language every 3 years. The next one is بحقق هدف بإني أتعلم لغة جديدة كل 3 سنين. I achieve the target of learning a new language every 3 years. Wow. I think if you focus on one dialect of Arabic and you watch all of its movies, you learn all of its phrases, it's very easy to master one dialect of Arabic in 3 years. So for example, if you choose the Egyptian dialect, you can watch lots of movies, you can watch lots of TV shows, music videos, and you will have many Egyptian friends. And maybe even in less than 3 years, you'll be fluently speaking Egyptian Arabic. بفهم المصريين وهم بيتكلموا. I understand Egyptians when they speak. بفهم المصريين وهم بيتكلموا. بفهم المصريين وهم بيتكلموا. I understand Egyptians when they speak. In general, Egyptians speak very fast. So if you get to understand how they're speaking, like if you understand several sentences or even the content, that means you're very, very good. And that means you should have even more confidence in your linguistic abilities. So definitely, that would be a very good motivation for you. 5 most popular Egyptian bands. Do you know any of them? So let's get started. Karaoke. Karaoke. The first band is karaoke. Karaoke. For example, you can say, هروح حفلة كاريوكي النهاردة, which means I'm going to karaoke's concert today. Karaoke began their music profession long time ago in like the 2000s or something. However, they were really, really popular during the Egyptian Revolution in 2011. They went down to the street and they sat in the sit-ins and they composed this beautiful song. في كل شارع في بلادي صوت الحرية بينادي. In every street of my home, of my country, the sound of freedom is calling us. And it was such a big hit in 2011, and that's when their popular profession as a band has started. They also have a very fun song I personally like, and it goes something like حبيبي يا مطلع عيني ليه دايما ضارب بوز خلاص نكدت عليا سنيني وشك بقى شبه الشوز. So funny, but so sad. So yeah, that's karaoke. They mostly sing political or social problems related songs. Their lyrics are full of statements, personal statements, and criticism about the society and problems we're facing, whether it's economic or political or so on. So definitely go check them out. Charmoufers. Charmoufers. The next band is Charmoufers. I have no idea what that means. Charmoufers. For example, you can say بحب أغاني Charmoufers. I like Charmoufers songs. They mostly also sing social problems. For example, they have this song called 5 centi, 5 centimeters. It begins with the singer, the lead singer. He's waking up and he cannot wash his face because there's no water, which is a very common problem in Egypt. Like the water gets cut. And then he goes downstairs to see that the sewers are kind of exploded and there's water everywhere. That's why the last 5 centimeters of his pants get this really dirty water in them. And then he proceeds to go to his work. He walks in the street. Everything is so crowded. He's so late because there's an accident. And he gets out of his car and he starts walking to his work. But the streets are so muddy. They're so dirty. And the ends of his pants yet again get dirty. So it's it takes you through the daily life of a very normal Egyptian person, what kind of daily problems he or she might face. So it's also a very good band if you want to know how Egypt looks like, what kind of problems they have, what kind of funny or unique stuff they have. Definitely go check out their album and their video shows. مسار إجباري. مسار إجباري. The next band is مسار إجباري, which means obligatory detour or a compulsory detour. And they also make so many underground music. مسار إجباري usually sing also about social problems, but maybe more about individual problems sometimes with depression and the tough, like when life gets tough, they don't really sing romance as much as they sing about their problems and the difficult parts of life and so on. They have a very nice song called Shirmophobia. I definitely recommend you to go watch that music video. For example, you can say سمعت أغنية مسار إجباري الجديدة. Have you listened to Masar Igbari's new song? If you're interested in blues, jazz, some Oriental music, not necessarily Egyptian, but generally Oriental, you might want to check out Masar Igbari. Iskandarella. Okay, the next one is Iskandarella. From Alexandria, the Mediterranean, one of the most famous Mediterranean cities in Egypt. For example, you can say فرقة اسكندريلا هتغني على المسرح. فرقة اسكندريلا هتغني على المسرح, which means Iskandarella is gonna sing on stage. Iskandarella is a band made of 3 members, and they take really, really vintage music, especially the ones that are made by a composer called Said Darwish. So he used to live in the 19th century, and he is one of the most popular Egyptian composer and the musician of that time. Their ideology is that the young people nowadays are so out of touch with Egypt's old history and the vintage music, so they try to recycle it, make it modern, and they try to remake it for the young people to be interested in it again, and then maybe they can reconnect the old history with the new ways of and styles of music and so on. Definitely try to check them out if you are into vintage music or music that kind of relates to poetry. If you like the sound of Oriental vintage instruments like the oud, definitely try to see them, check out their music videos. Mishwar. The next band is Mishwar, which means a journey. For example, you can say فرقة مشوار من أشهر فرق الأندرغراوند. فرقة مشوار من أشهر فرق الأندرغراوند. Mishwar is one of the most popular underground bands. Mishwar has a really unique theme of combining the Oriental or Egyptian beats with the reggae or groove African beats. So if you are into this African/Middle Eastern or Arab kind of music or mix, you should definitely try to watch one of their music videos or concerts. 5 most popular sports. So let's get started. كرة القدم. Soccer. The first one is كرة القدم or soccer or football. In Egypt, in the dialect, we usually just say كرة, which means a ball, but we usually refer to that to football or soccer. For example, you can say رياضتي المفضلة هي كرة القدم. رياضتي المفضلة هي كرة القدم or رياضتي المفضلة هي الكرة, which means my favorite sport is soccer. The 2 most famous Egyptian soccer teams are Zamalek and Ahli. Ahli is usually in red, presented in red, and Zamalek is usually presented in white. And they're always fighting, and there's so much tension and passion going around between these 2 groups. If you ever go to Egypt and happen to buy a pocket tissue, you will almost always find it with the symbol of either Ahli or Zamalek. So make sure to buy your favorite team's tissue. كرة السلة. Basketball. The next one is كرة السلة. Basketball. For example, you can say كنت بلعب كرة سلة وأنا صغير. I used to play baseball when I was young. So for the Egyptian basketball teams, you can also find your own version of Ahli and Zamalek kind of teams, but for basketball, not football. كرة اليد. Handball. The next one is كرة اليد. Handball. For example, you can say فريق كرة اليد ليه تصنيف عالمي. فريق كرة اليد ليه تصنيف عالمي. The handball team has a world ranking. In the last handball tournament in Egypt, the Zamalek team has won the first place, beating all of his other opponents. الكاراتيه. The next one is karate. For example, you can say الولاد لازم يتمرنوا كاراتيه. الولاد لازم يتمرنوا كاراتيه. The boys should practice karate. Or you can say الولاد لازم يلعبوا كاراتيه. الولاد لازم يلعبوا كاراتيه. The boys should play karate. Usually in the Egyptian dialect, it's more familiar or it's more natural to use the word يلعب instead of the word يتمرن, which means practice. The word يلعب means play, but usually it's more natural when you use sports. For example, you can say بحب ألعب كرة. بحب ألعب كرة. I like to play soccer. Or بحب ألعب كرة اليد. I like to play handball. More than saying I like to practice. The Egyptian karate team is usually on top of the regional African karate tournament. However, in 2017, it was beaten by the Tunisian team, and the Tunisian came on top, but right after it, there's always the Egyptian team for karate. السباحة, swimming. The next sports is my personal favorite sports is سباحة, سباحة, swimming. For example, you can say تمرين السباحة الساعة 7. تمرين السباحة الساعة 7. The swimming class is at 7 o'clock. Yeah, Egypt has two seas, the Mediterranean Sea and the Red Sea. So everyone who lives along these seas usually is a very, very good swimmer. Egyptian people go by the Islamic saying that is to teach their children swimming or horse riding, swimming or horse riding or archery. And since horse riding and archery are kind of difficult to achieve or maintain in the Egyptian society, therefore most of the children go to swimming schools or know how to swim, go to the beach every year and so on. Since it's also very, very hot, so it's always nice to go to the beach and cool down a little bit. So most likely almost all of the young people will be taking lesson classes or at least know how to swim. 5 biggest festivals in Egypt. So let's get started. مهرجان القاهرة السينمائي الدولي Cairo International Film Festival. The first one is مهرجان القاهرة السينمائي الدولي. مهرجان القاهرة السينمائي الدولي Cairo International Film Festival. For example, you can say مهرجان القاهرة السينمائي الدولي حدث فني مهم جدا. The Cairo International Film Festival is a major art event. The Cairo Film Festival is a tiny local Egyptian event that is so much like Cannes or the mini Oscars. And there you can see short films from all over the world. If you're interested in foreign culture, there's weekly projects and weekly events, so you can definitely have more time discovering the cultures around the Middle East and the foreign cultures as well in that event. And meet so many celebrities, Arab and Egyptian celebrities, alongside with foreign ones. Cairo Bites. Cairo Bites. The next one is Cairo Bites. Cairo Bites. For example, you can say أكلنا كتير قوي في Cairo Bites. أكلنا كتير قوي في Cairo Bites. We ate a lot in Cairo Bites. Cairo Bites is the biggest food festival in Egypt ever, and there you can find not just local food, but you can also find foreign food, and they're all lined up so nicely, and you can eat so many stuff from so many different places. You can also find food-related business and establishments there if you're interested not only in eating, but also in starting up your own business in the industry. You can definitely go there and check it out. مهرجان الموسيقى العربية Arab Music Festival. The next one is مهرجان الموسيقى العربية. مهرجان الموسيقى العربية Arab Music Festival. For example, you can say أشهر المطربين بيغنوا في مهرجان الموسيقى العربية. أشهر المطربين بيغنوا في مهرجان الموسيقى العربية. The most famous singers perform at the Arab Music Festival. مهرجان الموسيقى العربية or the Arab Music Festival. Egypt usually hosts some Arab countries. The Arab Music Festival is usually held in November every year. For example, in November 2017, Egypt has hosted 8 Arab countries, performers and musicians to come and play and perform in the Opera House in Cairo. And usually this festival lasts for 2 weeks. Every day you can see a different performance or different event. معرض الكتاب Cairo International Book Fair. The next one is معرض الكتاب. معرض الكتاب. Cairo International Book Fair. For example, you can say هنروح النهاردة معرض الكتاب. هنروح النهاردة معرض الكتاب. Today we are going to the Cairo International Book Fair. I really like Cairo International Book Fair, معرض الكتاب. Usually it's open annually during the period of January or February, like around this time. And usually all publications, all new publications, new authors, if they have a new book coming up, it's always published and it's put in that fair. And there you can meet your favorite authors or your favorite writers, and you can get their sign. You can even take a picture or have lunch with them. It's a very nice environment to meet up with people you look up to, or you have people you have read their books before. A couple of years ago, there was a metro station made right in front of the entrance for the Cairo International Book Fair. So each year, instead of taking transportation or not finding your way to the International Book Fair, it's now so easy to go into the metro, the subway, take the subway, and go out, and you will find the entrance right in front of you. So even if it was difficult before, now it's not difficult. It's so easy to go there now. So please try to go there in January or February next year. معرض زهور الأرمان. Orman Flower Festival. معرض زهور الأرمان. معرض زهور الأرمان. Orman Flower Festival. For example, you can say اشتريت زرع كتير من معرض زهور الأرمان. I bought lots of plants from the Orman Flower Festival. The Orman Flower Festival is in Giza city, and usually it's open from the 10th around the very, very early March, because that's when spring starts in Egypt. And there you can find not only flowers, you can not only just buy plants, but you can also buy seeds if you want to plant something for yourself. There are so many bands and groups, art teams who sell art and sell artistic handmade things. It's more like a free market. So you can buy things that are handmade, whether that be an art piece or food. For example, honey or spice. Honey or spice. You can also listen to so many bands. So many bands go there to perform. And you can find foreign flowers as well, some that don't really grow in Egypt. So definitely, if you have a chance to go to Egypt in the spring, try to go to the Orman Flower Festival.
Want to speed up your language learning? Take your very first lesson with us. You'll start speaking in minutes and master real conversations. Sign up for your free lifetime account. Just click the link in the description.